Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I'm just checking in the check-in. I got something I'm gonna show. Um, I'm gonna give out some more info for some people that they can use for weapons. You know what I mean? That's probably being an Indian missionary, being weapons, man. Casino 679, man. Appreciate you coming through. You already know that, man. But yeah, I'm gonna start in a second. I know it's late too, so it's all good. Oh shit, that's what's up. Vino got it popping on what's happening in the field. Hey man, that's a plus, man. Shout out to Vino. Damn, I could have clicked on that and pull it up, but while I'm in my live screen, the only way I click on something and pull it up, it gotta be in the back. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shout out to Vino, man. You know, me and Billy Bowleg, them boy family. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to that brother, man. Word. But give me 30 seconds and then I'm gonna start a video. So video, play some music real quick, and then I'm gonna drop some videos for y'all, man. Let me show y'all about these the influx of what they will call so-called Africans in the 1800s, and why it was influx of them and what they was doing. Oh, at Milestone. Oh, Milestone, what's up? God damn, man. How the people do, man? Baby girl, man. Man. I know you had a rent, so I know you was somebody. You know what I mean? Shout out to Big Dog Philly OG, my OG. You know what I'm talking about? I gave him that name first, Big Dog Philly OG, my OG. You know what I mean? Because he took me up underneath his wing. Good word. But yeah, man, give me 30 seconds and I'm going to start this. Milestone, I'm going to drop the link. You come up, man. You might want to build on what I'm about to drop. You know what I mean? If not, I'm going to just let it play because I done showed it before, so I know I can't get no strike from it. I'll just let it play with no narrative because it's self-explanatory pretty much. Give me 30 seconds. Let's go. You already know, Big Dog. I had pool lead tonight. I done started shooting on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And yeah, shout out to my Eagles. You know what I mean? Hey, man, long as I don't care how you do it, just as long as you do it. At the end of the fourth quarter, when there's no more time on the clock, if you're winning, man, that's a win, man. Everything ain't gotta look glorious. Everybody just want everything to look so glorious. Nah, that ain't how Philly people do it. That ain't how us Eagles do it. Word. City of brotherly love, man. You think Big Dog Philly OG do what he do, man? You know what I mean? Let's go, man. Let's get into some of this right here. hopefully we might and then that's where else router box ain't come in yet. So
across the
router
Low Country, the one choice.
Come in. All
who they think they better than? Ain't no comparison to the so-called black or African American. You can the African, keep the American. When we say Aborigine, it make they world in. I'm going in the same dirt my ancestors buried in. I come from a god and a goddess, so what that make me? Not even Basquiat can trace me. Not even Van Gogh can paint me. The MC in me is the God MC equals the God in me. I'm focused in, let my mind be free. Mind to see the Jews I give Israel. It's been real. These ain't shots, they missiles. All you gonna hear is the whistle. Lyrically, this the execution. My verses start revolutions from my people seeking restitution. Since the beginning, fuck evolution. Or maybe my reality is all a dream. I put it together like I was sowing seeds. So it seems this is that audio dopamine. Go against the machine. We put you where nobody can hear you scream. And sing you to meet your Elohim. My nigga, this is savage mode. It's something that you can't decode. It started with a spark and I'ma let it explode. I was given the cheat codes that'll let me dump and reload. And go through them waves like a fucking torpedo. You dealt the cards of life. I just cut them diamonds with the ace of spades. Y'all scatter like roaches when they facing raid. Or vampires when facing blade. I'm trying to get extra terrain like I'm getting played. You still stuck as a mental slave. You still stuck in that mental cage. While I'm making easy money, pimping hoes in style. This my coming to age. Crowd roaring when I'm coming on stage. And when I'm done, they gonna be cheering my name. Drake times, and nah, I ain't quit my day job. I spit bars. I really rap on my day off. That's real shit. Just give you some tools you can build with. Aim high even if you still miss. Just keep going. It's a climb to the top. And I'ma keep flowing. Down Lake Shore, I'm Chicagoan. Yeah. Niggas is playing checkers, we playing chess. And nigga, this is checkmate. Dre beat Big Dog, and you just a little bait. You out of Africa, and we ain't got the same traits. I'm a God being, and we ain't got the same fate. My granny died February 18th, and I was born on the same date. The chosen one, the ancestors' chosen son. They gave me the golden gun. One shot, that's a hole in one. From the pyramid of the sun, the poverty point. I don't think you niggas is getting the point. We still here. Who said they made the Aboriginals disappear? Your information's lagging in the rear. All you do is teach fear. We copper colored with woolly hair. Am I speaking clear? So fuck the nonsense. When I rap, I touch your consciousness. From within is where you get your self-confidence. Let's bring it back to dominance. Ain't no confining us. Gonna bring that wild Indian out of us. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We still here.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feel it when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air. This that Japheth, that Chow Mein, that Papa Bull, that Tao Mein, since sunset in the arc of Wayne. My brain moving like Tao Sang, so as above, it's so below. That up and that down thing, this flow is atmospherian. I call that a ground game. See, water is knowledge, so if I'm teaching, you're learning. So how your God make a sun without vortexing current? See the pattern is panic, I'm reaching out for my people. Oh, watch me flow through your speakers, you feel the force of the ether. And when the force hits the equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing political. My DNA is Moshe, mix that thing with higher. My spirit rate is OTN, it's just a higher order. Got more light than Kavita, rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint, shout out my big homie Sealer. Got more torque than a sports car, got more work than a door star. And the 4 million I make, I'm giving the Dr. Umar, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahu when it's now a ennui. Blame my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. Oh, watch me flow, it's so potent. Set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you making salat. Well, I'm a Israelite, I'ma make the method Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faith, it's oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah.
With Google Play Games, you can play unlocked. Unlock rewards with Google.
Shit getting out of control, I mean we been there. Hate, they disguise it as love, we call it sincere. They took us to a place where ain't none of this shit clear, and we just look stupid, wondering how we get here. This government got us in chains cause they don't love us. They got us separated by gangs over some colors. What hurts more is we keep trusting these motherfuckers and putting bullshit that they say over each other. It's a bad world, many cry in this sad world. A unicorn is compared to a black girl, or any child when you mix it making life swirl. Gems meet a diamond and dance to make the ice swirl. Nigga, don't waste your time trying to hate on me. If you can't deal with your pride, then stay away from me. I don't fuck with none of that dumb shit. You heard that? Don't believe we live on the globe, nigga. The earth flat. First you gotta love yourself, then take the earth back. Find what's really important and make it worth that. Too much time in your hands lead to a dirt nap, but niggas don't keep the same energy to exert that.
What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him? My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this, and it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves.
Mind over matter, but none of that'll matter. When in life you're trying to climb and a nigga pull a ladder. Believing in the myth when reality is shattered. The lies never end unless you serve it on a platter. America made you a slave, then call you monster. Erase everything that we paid and say conquered. Willie lynching is a system that really harmed us. It raped women, left children without their fathers. America, land of the free, home of the great. America, cage of the beast, home of a snake. But the fight don't stop when you gone. This shit a marathon. Everything they touched in this world, they made it terraform. The best piece of advice, stay about these pigs sight. Fuck what goes on in the street. Nigga, just live life. You only get one of those, nigga. Don't play with that. Trying to dance away in the dark and never make it. We got a lot of loving to do. Shit is getting worse. Hate run deep in these roots. It's like the shit is cursed. Murder everything you can name. The world gone berserk. Pedophilia real as fuck. It's even in the church. Music, we've been flaming it. No, it ain't no game with it. Just know I put my soul on the beat. When you banging it, this is for the shit that I see and won't play with it. Hood Politics Part 3. My name Dangerous.
They attack the victim. And then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him. This is American justice. This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that a democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me.
Creators, take these 3 apps I built to run my business made with Base 44. They're ready for you as free to use templates in the link below. Let's talk productivity. As a one-man show, I have to handle everything myself, so missing a task isn't an option. I built a scheduling calendar to manage my content, and I added reminders for all the little tasks that keep things moving. Second, my community. I built a content hub where I share free assets, gather leads, and even host paid memberships. Then I added a booking system so people can schedule one-on-one calls with me. Easy. And third, creative ideation, a hub that lets the AI develop my core ideas. One section for brainstorming concepts, another
This shit hit hard like Spence on the speed bag. I blow his legs off, he gon' need a knee tag. You niggas sound worse than Eminem on relapse. And Burna Boy, he's you thought I was gonna let you ease past? Running your mouth while taking our culture. Treat this nigga like brisket and slow roast him. Roll up an Akon pack. I ain't ducking smoke, I just inhale and blow. I'm on demon time and I got a hellish flow. The 40 spiritual, I make them see the Holy Ghost. Let's bury these niggas and raise a toast to the Aborigines. That's from time immemorial. A touch that's from the soil. Every rhyme is that cook coke, that hard boil. My energy is unattainable. And for you $5 Indians, I might have to flame a few. Run up on the res, you know I'm blazing through. Turn your gang into turtle soup. I aim for the head when I shoot. I take your top off like you do the coop. I took a drink from the fountain of truth. Now these bars is the burden. They say the pen is mightier than the sword, so you gon' have to acknowledge the God. Drake Cobbs, I take your face off. My style is like cocaine raw. You gon' have to bow down to my Jaguar paw, or I'm coming like Leatherface with the chainsaw. I ride for my road dog like a new age outlaw. I do it to death like Chief Cornstalk. So fuck all your tough talk. You little pigeons can't fly with hawks. That'll get you outlined and chalk. It's the supreme being here to electrify your chakra. Any drama, it's mask on like the Phantom of the Opera. I got the hunger, and you niggas looking like pasta. Shrimp over the lobster, and I'm smoking like a roster. Check my posture, it's only one American, the rest of y'all imposters. Cause you don't want Dre to pop up, cause it's like boys in the hood. I'm out the window with the shotty, nigga. When it comes to the mic, I'm like the coroner. All I catch is bodies, niggas. So look away before you come in my lane. It's arrows up, I just get it and aim. Yeah. before you come in my lane. Is there what's up? I just get it and aim. Yeah. You hustling with this grams, man. I know it's okay. All on my face with that fake smile, yeah. You can't get no dab. I got niggas that are shooters, all in your head like a nap. Hop on the scene with them 2, 2, 3s and edit bitch out. No games, man. Yeah, I got no time for this shit. I be the one to blame, so please don't you make me click. Hit the block like a march, yeah. Look like a parade. Drum sound and you ducking and hiding. Oh, better cover your face. Hip hop used to be so hard. Now they dressing funny, driving fancy cars. Hoes used to be hoes, but now they stars. I swear this shit done went way too far. 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 Niggas still killing niggas. Pay your partner to hit ya. Hoes still fucking with niggas, never raising their children. Cluckers still paying dealers, trying to catch them a feeling. I know a bunch of people who ain't never gonna have feelings. Pants way up their leg, crazy colors in their head, mumbling, rapping shit. Make the niggas say what he said. I know you think I'm tripping, this boy going fade, but I'm just telling you some of the things bouncing in my head. Hip hop used to be so hard. Now they dressing funny, driving fancy cars. Hoes used to be hoes, but now they stars. Man, I swear this shit done went way too far. 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 Man, y'all got an old nigga singing and sweating in the booth trying to shit heard your breath.
Change the title just now. I'm gonna show y'all some Africans and Islamic people who was brought over here that helped the North fight in the Civil War against us. Huh? I'm gonna show y'all that tonight. Check this out.
We live for the moment.
Not a classified
conversation.
A lot more people are really
where in the morning. You know what I mean? Depending on where y'all at. Let's go. Shout out to Al Poco the Don, man. South Carolina, man. Y'all share this video out, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, look at the title.
Man. So crazy, man.
Anybody else showed y'all this? I done did it multiple times with y'all missed it, but I'll do it again, though. I see I had to put it in the title.
This ain't nothing but a little,
let's go
out. This is a little outro, intro, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you about this badass bitch I met, man. All y'all know her. All y'all done fucked the bitch. Y'all probably act like y'all didn't. But this how it go right here. Check this out right here. I'm living that street life. And we gotta pay the price, please, Lord. I'm too far gone off in this street life. And I can't turn back, no. I'm too far gone off in these wicked streets. Check this out. It first started when I was young, just a little baby boy. She told me to run with her. She told me to put down the toy. Introduced me to the gang, gave me a pack, told me to slang. Even told me to sip some cane after she sucked my little thing. She had sex with my dad. She even diked my mom. Had them both sprung on dope. Where the hell you come from? Had my mama stealing out the house and food off the table. Dad kinda done lost a job, studied fighting the neighbors. Had my family fucked up. What that pussy that good? Matter of fact, you were fucking everybody from hood to hood. I finally hit the pussy raw. I couldn't turn back. You good pussy acting bitch. You had my mind off track. I was off the chain since the first sniff of the game. Couldn't let her go, even though she caused me some pain. Set me up nasty bitch. She gave me my first beer. Call home, same thing. Now she boning my friends. When I touched down, that was the first bitch I seen. She wouldn't write a visit, even no money for canteen. I couldn't get rid of the hoe through rain, see the snow. She advertised by material things I couldn't let go. Now I'm back fucking no girl and things getting good. Lil' mama getting it now. She gave me soft heart in the wood. I'm pumping now. I got a house and cars with no hood. She didn't give a fuck about the little broads I had. Long as I fucked the real, I always flip my cash. I was on her 24/7, niggas grabbing their mask. Stuck me up for 36, but she gave it all back. Feds can catch her cause she always stay low key. She wouldn't touch a piece of dope. She always gave it to me. Whole time I was fucked up. I just couldn't see. Now I realize I'm really trying to let her go. She got me caught up with the police and damn near caught four. And the funny thing about it, y'all all know this broad. Only way you can get rid of her is go to the Lord. She caused me a lot of trouble, a lot of hurting.
Hold up. Hold up. Hey, listen, man. We all can relate to this. And that's why I stopped it. Because, boy, when people first hear this song, they'll swear he talking nasty or something, a female or something like that. You know what I mean? Because he say the person fucked his daddy, fucked his mama, all that, and take you for a loop. Shout out to guys, K Gov and L. Shout out to Rich New York Bay. Live in peace, man. You know what I mean? Coming to me a lot lately, man. You know what I'm talking about? But check this out again, y'all. It's called Strife.
Man, this life that I'm living right here, man. It's so crazy, man. It's like I messed around and ran across this old badass bitch, man. You know what I mean? This ain't nothing but a little, you know what I mean? This is a little outro, intro, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you about this badass bitch I met, man. All y'all know her. All y'all done fucked the bitch. Y'all probably act like y'all didn't. But this how it go right here. Check this out right here. I'm living that street life. I'm living life off in that street life. And we gotta pay the price, please, Lord. I'm too far gone off in this street life. And I can't turn back, no, 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 no. I'm too far gone off in these wicked streets. Check this out. It first started when I was young, just a little baby boy. She told me to run, she told me to put down the toy. Introduced me to the gang, gave me a pack, told me to slang. Even told me to sip some cane after she sucked my little thing. She had sex with my dad, she even diked my mom. Had them both sprung on dope. Where the hell you come from? Had my mama stealing out the house and food off the table. Dad kinda done lost a job, studied fighting the neighbors. Had my family fucked up. What that pussy that good? Matter of fact, you were fucking everybody from hood to hood. I finally hit the pussy raw. I couldn't turn back. You good pussy acting bitch. You had my mind off track. I was off the chain since the first sniff of the game. Couldn't let her go, even though she caused me some pain. Set me up nasty bitch. She gave me my first beer. Call home, same thing. Now she boning my friends. When I touched down, that was the first bitch I seen. She wouldn't write a visit, even no money for canteen. I couldn't get rid of the hoe through rain, see the snow. She advertised by material things I couldn't let go. Now I'm back fucking no girl, things getting good. Lil' mama getting it down. She gave me soft heart in the wood. I'm pumping now. I got a house and cars with no hood. She didn't give a fuck about the little broads I had. Long as I fucked her real good, I always flip my cash. I was on her 24/7, niggas grabbing their mask. Stuck me up for 36, but she gave it all back. Feds can catch her cause she always stay low key. She wouldn't touch a piece of dope, she always gave it to me. Whole time I was fucked up, I just couldn't see. Now I realize I'm really trying to let it go. She got me caught up with the police and damn near caught foe. And the funny thing about it, y'all all know this broad. Only way you can get rid of her, go to the Lord. She caused me a lot of trouble, a lot of hurting, even caused me a lot of beef. I finally asked the bitch name. She said her name was Streets. Street life.
Word.
I'm living life off in that street life. I can't turn back, no, 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 no. Too far gone off in these wicked streets.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna close out for y'all like that right there. If you ever run across this bitch, don't stand in the street, cross that bitch. Get to the other side and keep on moving.
Yeah, man, that's some boy Al Poker the Don, man. Greenville. Straight from Greenville. Hold on. Let me get y'all. Let me see. Y'all might remember him from this right here, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, y'all might remember from this. Hold on. Let me make sure I get the right one. Damn. Where's first one? I like this one. Going to man. Then I'm you know what I mean? Up north. Even bringing Islam, some of the first Islamic.
I've got culinary chaos on my Christmas list. Tournament of
Who
Champions.
was practicing Judaism. Because Judaism is Islam and Christianity at its beginning. In case people don't know. That's Judaism. All right? And at the beginning of Judaism, you have forefathers, you have Phoenicianism, you have Hinduism, you have Kemetism, shit, you got Buddhism, shit, you got all kind of religions that's out there before Abraham with Judaism, and that, you know what I mean, if anybody know that. But let's go.
Good news. This bitch trying to tell me to leave the streets, homie. But I love this little horny hooker here. All right. You keep asking me to get up out these streets and leave this game alone forever. I keep telling you, alright, I'm married to this game and I'm gonna love my bitch forever. You got to be crazy. Think I'm leaving the game and the streets where it made me. I shed blood and plenty tears in these streets, and you telling me to leave them. How the fuck you gonna eat? Love you to death. I fucked the streets before I met you. Fuck both of y'all at once. The game needs sex too. I'm only being real, little mama. That's all I know. I'm gripping wood, bottom moving a lot of snow. I'm talking a lot of coke. Go through banana boats, blowing on the cutie, your fruity tasting like cantaloupe. Upstate got them cupcakes. I got them wired in them 10 grade things. Call them duct tape. That'll
down forever real. Y'all niggas stuck fake. I'm a blind man, don't gotta see the touch weight. 864 got 8 bricks 4, 15 a piece. Give me 120 and gold. The rim and scope. Plenty of hoes and plenty of coats. Pop pills, dump real. Plenty of smoke. The game my wife, that's my reason, homie. The streets fucking everybody, but I don't care if she cheating on me. Keep asking me to get up out these streets and leave this game alone forever. But I keep telling you, alright, I'm married to this game and I'm gonna love my bitch forever. Okay, they say I changed on them, didn't keep it real on them. Fuck changed out $100 bill on them. Cop the pretty coupe and put some big wheels on it. Pretty doors up like my car got big eels on it. It's real, homie, it's gutter, I hope you listen. Remember time when daughter didn't have no pot to piss in. Apoko Dawn got a mission for strictly flipping the rest of my Pyrex and they told me to turn my wrist in. I'm talking numbers, pure cash, man. My trap bumped like I done dry shaved on some bad skin. Dollar on everything, plus I'm getting plenty mail. All y'all can say that damn dollar hell when he will. Caramel, coupe, candy, sweating, raisin sand, chocolate seats and wood grain. The side look like Raisin Bran. I play the game, loyal, stay high like Raisin Hands. Plant the streets with my music, so now I'm raising grands. I got a blazing plan, was stupid with Asian bands. I made Diana to see cocaine really made my hands. Amazing man, Mr. Dun Dada Dada I am. Apoko Dun Dun Dada hotter than desert sand. I switched the paint and painted the parrot feathers. Then set that bitch on my 30s and I ghost framed the Chinese letters. Keep asking me to get up out these streets and leave this game alone forever. I keep telling you, alright, I'm married to this game and I'm gonna love my bitch forever. Somebody better grab me, but they gonna let me loose. Been up 6 days straight hustling, smelling like a moose. When I came back through, I copy your fruity tooth. With my in the bitches mouth like a losing tooth. Y'all see me pushing through, kissing on that cushion goose, dropping birds in the wall and call it chicken noodle soup. That ain't your usual. Partner, my swag is beautiful. Blowing like a trumpet, the reefer smelling like poodle poo. Chevy sitting pitiful. 30s on my vehicle, drop black and white with the stripes. I call it Beetlejuice. Homie, if I beat with you, know what the heater do. Better go to church, I leave you holier than a preacher suit. Y'all niggas faking. $1,000 a full goon. I'm leaning off that cushion, high as a full moon. I'm getting crazy paper for moving this crazy power. In the club with more bottles than 30 baby showers. I got so much money, I'm buying money. I got $1 million in my homie, I'm crying money. Hey, your girl started liking the dog. I had her ass bent over like she hiking the ball. Don't like me at all. Hustler, my teenager. You give me 4 winner, baby, I whip into a teenager like you. Keep asking me. I mean, get yourself together.
You know what I mean? Get yourself together, man. And peace and love, man. I dropped the link in case y'all want to come up, man, while I'm about to drop this motherfucking, this shit. Damn, I know I've been going for a while. Excuse me for my language, man. You know what I mean? Word. Peace and love to everybody out there, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all see the title? I put it up there. God damn it, I'm about to show y'all some fucking Islamic people coming from what they would call Arabic territories. And I'm going to show y'all some what they would call Africans coming from Islamic territory and coming to help the North fighting the war and the civil war against the South. You know what I mean? I know. That's crazy, man. But let me tell y'all something about me. Dog, all dropping shit. Bond dog, what's going on? Peace and love, my dog. Peace and love. All I know is information, man. That's all I know. That's what I'm at my best at. Is bringing stuff. So Let me give me an intro real quick for this all I know. You know what I mean? It's only right that I drop this too. Let's go, y'all.
This is what it is, homie.
What is, man?
I don't know how y'all live y'all life, but at the
I don't
same
know.
time, I
How you
live my life.
just
Like,
me.
these streets like so much embedded in me, homie. You know what I mean? It's like this is all I know. And this is all I know. Sometimes I just want y'all let y'all feel how I feel. Y'all to feel you know what I'm saying? So this is all I know right here.
That's that Carolina way, man. That's all we know, man.
Shit, you know what I mean? This is all I know, homie.
All I know is dropping this info for y'all, man. That's it.
Hey, yo. This is all I know. This all I know, homie. This is all I know. This all I know, homie. This is all I know. This is all I know. I dip my pen in plasma, write my rhyme in blood. Immortal thug with a grudge, shoulder road on love. I put my gang face on and hit the battlefield. Tattoo under my eye from gun busting shit is real. Promise my people. You told you when it's time to ride. Stay in gutter, I love the hustle, ain't no need to lie. Daughter a real nigga, I grew up to be a gorilla. Head busting, staying thuggin', act the fool full of striller. My mama told me I get killed if I ain't slow my roll. Well, mommy, if I slow my roll, they'll slow my dough. I been a big dog, I graduated from the poach. No soft ass, just hard head till my casket closed. Hell no, don't want my head bust, no, don't wanna die. I don't know what's up there in that great big old sky. I don't vote to go to hell cause I don't want to fry for the rest of my life. In eternal fire. Yeah, I get my dicks up. Yeah, I like them big bucks, ride with big wheels, big grills on big trucks. If I didn't love this life, probably leave it alone. Probably get a wife and job and have a happy home. Since I ain't married or working, guess I keep moving on. Glock in a pocket full of stone, cell phone on wrong. Staying humble, moving bundles to my work. All gone, the talk. She is all I know. This is all I know. This is all I know, homie. This is all I know. This is all I know.
Yeah, I had to show y'all that because the very first one I showed was Street Life. Is after he got out. The middle videos I showed is how he got his start. That one right there was right before he got knocked. You know what I mean? Growth and elevation, man. Shout out to Al Poco, the Don, man. Greenville. You know what I'm talking about, man? Shout out to my kin folks out there. They already know. It's all love. 24/7 out there. You know what I'm talking about? Good work. Damn, I guess we're ready, man. Let me go ahead and let me make sure I got both of the videos queued up. Oh, I'm in the show seat. That's what I'm not gonna see it right now. Damn, definitely not gonna see it in the show seat. I need to get out of this. My fault. My give me You say, hold on, bro. You're doing a little bit too much. You're doing too much. Oh, y'all know what? Hold on. Damn, let me go ahead and put something on in the background as I'm looking for this, so as I get the video ready. I'm so sorry, y'all. For my ladies, man. Hey, y'all.
What you like, man? I feel the same way you feel about word. I just want to take it one day at a time. Me too. That way we reach the highest point of friendship. What's the highest point? Let me know. Then whether you know how far to take this flight. That's what I'm talking about. You don't just jump in the plane and fly and don't know where you're going first. Just chill, baby. Just got you.
We don't have to run, baby. We can chill. Just be patient before we take it there. See, you don't really know me, and I don't really know you. Never lived a good life. Come on, let me show you. We don't have to run, baby. We can chill. Just be patient before we take it there. See, you don't really know me, and I don't really know you. Never lived a good life. Come on, let me show you.
You don't have to rush. Baby girl, be patient. Anticipation of love making. Got your legs shaking. See, every time I'm next to you, I feel your heart beat faster. But yet you try to hide behind your smile and your laughter. See, money's what I'm after. So all I do is chill. I'm out here on the grind. I'm trying to see a meal. You never seen this good life. Well, come on, let me show you. You never had a real hug. Well, come on, let me hold you. This life I lead is troublesome. You win some, you lose some. You lost one, then gain one. You want some, come get some. See, everything you want, you need, I got you. Even though you don't know me, I don't know you, baby, I got you. That's just how it goes to me. Rather have you next to me, never in front or back of me. You look good beside me, but we take it there. It's some things you need to know. We don't have to rush, baby, we can take it slow.
We don't have to run, baby, we can chill. Just be patient before we take it there. See, you don't really know me, and I don't really know you. Never lived a good life. Come on, let me show you. We don't have to run, baby, we can chill. Just be patient before we take it there. See, you don't really know me, and I don't really know you. Never lived a good life. Come on, let me show you.
Say you like me, it's what you want. I ain't about games, no trying to front. See something that you want, then get it. Ice cream man always deliver, never late. I come on time. Tell me, girl, what's your room size? Sitting here, watch you visualize. I can't lie, see it in your eyes, fantasize. I'll need you all day, all night. Let me strap your seatbelt on before we take this flight. You know I'm helicopter high. Baby, you know I'm on a wide, baby, we can vibe. And that's just how it is. El Blizzo keep it realer than all the rest is. And don't compare me to them other dudes. I act a fool with my tool. Lock it down, just for you. You got a man, you can keep him too. I don't want him, I want you. Got a couple friends, but I got a couple too. Just let me know, girl, what you wanna do. Hey, and we can keep it on the low. Long as you know, baby, just take it.
We don't have to run, baby, we can chill. Just be patient before we take it there. See, you don't really know me, and I don't really know you. Never lived a good life. Come on, let me show you. We don't have to run, baby, we can chill. Just be patient before we take it there. See, you don't really know me, and I don't really know you. Never lived a good life. Come on, let me show you.
Feeling all type ways right now, for real.
I got you. This life I live is hectic, man.
I ain't worried about that.
Don't ever
You
think
always
I got
talking
time.
that stuff, man. I can't tell though.
Just look at it this way. Whenever we together, as I got time.
That ain't enough. For real. It's not enough.
What's like you first?
I already know what it's like. Been there, done that.
I can show you.
I got you, baby.
We don't have to run, baby, we can chill. Just be patient before we take it there. See, you don't really know me, and I don't really know you.
My mama did and I can show y'all like, or I can show y'all like the first Muslims with the Africans that was coming to help. but not on that level now. So I got a story that I can show y'all about the very first, what I think is one of the very first up north Islamic person. You know what I mean? That's recorded in history. You know what I mean? I got him, and then I got one of your first people who was who came across it. But I'll play this right here. Matter of fact, I just play both of them back to back. How about that? I just play both of them back to back.
Man, I'ma keep it real until the day that I die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, no need to ask why. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. Man, I'ma keep it real until the day that I die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, no need to ask why. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. Every day of my life, man, I gotta stay 100. That's just how it is when you coming where I'm from. Hey man, I rock my own clothes with my name on my shirt to let everybody know the L is the same and the B is for Blizzle. Yes, I make it snow, but just keep that on the lizzo. My bloodline is filthy, most of us is criminals. The jack of all trades, but the master counting decimals. Sticky situation, so I keep my heat accessible. I'd rather your peeps than my peeps looking pitiful. It's crunch time. Hey man, I do this for y'all, just in case you didn't know it, man, I die for my dogs. My only fear is counting too much money. The same cats that help me get it might try to take it from me. My deepest fear is goons pulling up beside me, ready to lick shots, pop, pop, and try to blind me. I'ma keep it real until the day that I die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, no need to ask why. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. Man, I'ma keep it real until the day that I die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, no need to ask why. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. I came from a family where females were go-getters. Granddad was an alcoholic, grandma was a bootlegger. Hey man, that's where I got my hustle. Plus my Aunt Julia was never scared to bust ya. And Uncle Dan, he was a fool. He didn't care about too much. You smoke you too. Taught us that drug dealers didn't last too long. That's why I put my all into each and every song. I see death around the corner. Lord knows, where will I be without Joanna? She helps me focus and keep my eyes on the prize. Man, your boy been 100. Man, I put that on my life. And I'm just trying to live right. I know goons that was killers that committed suicide. One thing's for certain, two things for sure. You can take my breath away, but I'll never sell my soul. And I'ma keep it real until the day that I die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, no need to ask why. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. Man, I'ma keep it real until the day that I die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, no need to ask why. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100. I can't lie. And man, you know I keep it 100.
Y'all already know that's my business. Just drop it down low. Y'all know that's my shit. I'm gonna keep it real until the day that I die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, no need to ask why. Can't lie. You know I keep it 100. Yeah, my days of dropping is 100. Keep it 100, man. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta be 100 before you can be a stack. For you keep it 1,000, you gotta start somewhere. So I knew mother you say, yo, bro, I keep that shit $1. You niggas, you come and say, man, I keep that shit on the dime, bro. Word. So, you know, that's how it is. But man, y'all gonna enjoy these videos. I swear, I might need to cut this background music. I might need to keep it playing. I hope it don't start skipping. But y'all gonna enjoy these videos, man. So I'm not that yet. Hold up. Came up on the screen a little early. What the Islamic people that were across here? Oh, come on, man, stop that shit. What the fuck is going on? This shit crazy. Alright. I think I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start it off with the one with some of your first Islamic people coming across here, period, and bringing the Islamic faith over here, but it was Mohammedanism, or what they would call Mohammedanism, precursor to Garvey movement. See, that's what I do. I go down to the roots of things. So I think y'all gonna enjoy this. Like, for real, for real. I really think y'all gonna enjoy this. What the hell is going on right now, man? Alright. I don't think y'all enjoy this. I know y'all gonna enjoy this. Word. So grab your popcorn, roll up, whatever you're gonna do. You know what I mean? And just enjoy this real quick. Let's go. Oh, let's add it and let's go. All right.
This is a portrait of a man brought to America to work as a slave. His name was Mamadou Yarrow, and he was a Muslim. He was painted in 1819 by the famous revolutionary. He was painted in. This is a portrait of a man brought to America to work as a slave. His name was Mamadou Yarrow, and he was a Muslim. He was painted in 1819 by the famous Revolutionary War portrait artist, Charles Wilson Peale. This man who painted presidents decided he wanted to paint a picture of Yarrow.
To pay that kind of attention to a formerly enslaved black man, this is unheard of.
When I first heard about an enslaved Muslim or an emancipated Muslim, I was like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't think that, Muslims were in the US until later.
Even though we have a lot of evidence, the story of the African Muslims in the United States has been, for the longest time, lost, unknown.
I didn't really even know about the story when I was growing up here as an adult.
This is a story that predates the founding of America.
Predates the founding of America.
Much of Mamadou Yarrow's story takes place in and around Washington, D.C., a city that's been my home for several years. As a Muslim born and raised in the United States, I've always been curious about the roots of Islam in our country. I knew the first Muslims to arrive here in significant numbers came from Africa, but I didn't realize how much of their story had been unearthed.
It appears as if between 10 to 15%, some say even 30% of the enslaved Africans came from Muslim parts of West Africa.
Uh-oh, y'all. So now, the reason why I'm also showing this, y'all, is because if these so-called enslaved Africans are coming from Muslim parts, that means they are educated in Islam. not Christianity. Huh? Let me repeat that again. For you slow bus people, that's on a slower bus than my short bus. You know what I mean? Your bus wasn't yellow. My bus at least still was yellow. Y'all bus was blue. If these so-called enslaved Africans were coming from Muslim parts of the world, meaning Muslim rule. See, people don't know history. They just want to tie themselves to Africa, claim this transatlantic slave trade story, but don't know the history of the people. They don't even know that the so-called people that was on the west coast of Africa all of them didn't originate there. Damn, OTK, but you American Indian dude. Yeah, but let me tell you something. Being in this Bible Belt and coming up an African, Methodist, Episcopal, my people's done went in as Indian and came out African. Where they do that at? But we, you know what I mean? We smarter now. It's all good. We're going to change that A from African to American, Methodist, Episcopal, because if it started here, it should be American, not African. But this is some of the schoolhouses where they was going at to teach this old so-called African dialect, but really, y'all was getting taught American Indian culture. Y'all ain't bring no rice. Y'all ain't bring no corn. Y'all ain't bring nothing in y'all here. That shit is dead. Man, stop that dumb shit. In that case, dog, why they wild rice fields and all the wild rice in South America or the Caribbeans? Because that's where you went at first. If the story is true. Hi, OTK, back on your shit. You know what I mean? And then the crazy shit is that I'll wait the kicker. Y'all gonna see why this story is significant to me. Y'all about to see in a second. I'll show y'all.
About the roots of Islam in our country. I knew the first Muslims to arrive here in significant numbers came from Africa, but I didn't realize how much of their story had been unearthed.
It appears as if between 10 to 15%, some say even 30% of the enslaved Africans came from Muslim parts of West Africa.
Thousands of Muslims were enslaved in the Americas, including what became the United States.
They were part of the social and cultural and economic development of the Americas for half a millennium.
We now know that some African Muslims left their names.
Whoa, look at these records, y'all. Look at these records they got. Muslims. Look at these records they got. They got who left their name. What? What? Let's go, man. Hey, y'all stay focused with me now. You know, y'all already know. Stay focused.
Preserved in plantation records and runaway slave ads. Others left.
Oh, y'all. Sambo and a wench Fatima. Those are Muslims, y'all. Those are Muslim names, not African. What? Hold up. So if they hold up. So are these the reason why I'm bringing this up also because I also bring up the topic of the Africans that sold other Africans that they say this is where the slave trade, that other Africans were selling Africans. And they say, no, those weren't Africans. Those was Muslims selling the Africans. But now if I show y'all Muslims getting enslaved, that kills that theory. That kills that theory right there too. Come on. Let's go.
Their writings. A few left their image. Among them was Mamadou Yaro, also known as Yaro Mamadou.
Big money, man. Peace and love, man. Hope all is love with you, man. What up, though?
What up, though? What's the word, Jelly Bird?
Man, ain't nothing, man. In the vortex. That's it.
You spinning. Holding on like a hubcap in the fast lane, spinning. You know what I mean? What you got going on? Oh, shit.
Yeah, you see what I got going on.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Hey, Cosmon, because now you know what I've been studying lately. And what I've been studying lately, I ain't gonna bring it out yet. But I've been studying, I will save it. But I had to go back and think, like, damn. Well, I showed these niggas some of the first Muslims here in America, like that pretty much started Mohammedanism, what Garvey picked up from. This is the precursor from Garvey. Them, you know what I mean? 1819. You know what I mean? And then, the second video is gonna really kill him when we show these
so-called enslaved Africans over here.
Yeah.
not enslaved, not even a little bit.
You know what I'm talking about? For sure. So when I show the second video, dog, we don't need nobody to talk no more. Back for what's mine, man. Back for the first time. Always a great pleasure to hear from you, my brother. I know you be on that road, worldwide, state to state. Appreciate you. Hope all is well with you and the family, bro.
Yeah, everything good, family. Just saw you. I ain't see you in a minute. Just coming to salute the family. You know, I'm up late night sliding and riding, but yeah, keep cooking. And I'm here to salute you, my brother. How you and the fam, you dig? How you and the fam? How everybody doing?
Man, everybody blessed, man. Everybody blessed.
So, that part. Go ahead, cook, family.
What I'm doing, you know what I mean? I'm showing one of the first Muslims that they know and recorded. Muslims who was famous. One of the first famous Muslims. That's documented. And the reason why I'm showing it, I didn't even get to that part yet. I don't want to kill it, but I want to get to that part yet because I'm gonna show you. I'm about to show y'all some fuckery at its finest, and it's right in front of our face, but we don't hear it. That shit just blow past us when we hear it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of people play young. Remember, a lot of people play young Muhammadu as an African.
Yeah, that's what they say he was. They say he was an African.
I thought this was. He said he was Persian. They said he was Persian.
Damn sure is, brother. Hey, Kaz, we already know.
Yep, and then dig this. But I want y'all to pay attention. What I want y'all to pay attention to. Remember, he a Persian, right? He practicing Islam. He do his indenture over here in America. I want y'all to see what they changing to.
Let's go.
Moot. He was painted not once, but twice. It's one of the things that makes him stand out.
He gives us a story of what it was like to gain freedom and then live after that and practice as a free person. I don't think we have any other story like that.
Yaro's story has been preserved in the archives of the American Philosophical Society in Philadelphia, in the writings of the artist who first painted him. After painting presidents, including George Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson.
We are looking at one of 26 diaries written by Charles Wilson Peale, a very important early American portrait painter, one of the most important. This diary goes back to 1818 to early 1819. The diary is rather small, as you can see. It's about 58 pages of text. The Yarrow section takes up about 3.5 pages. It's the biggest vignette in the diary from this period.
Writing in December 1818, Peale describes a visit to D.C., where he heard about an old African man, Yarrow, living in Georgetown in surprising circumstances.
Mr. Brewer said that he is comfortable in his situation, having bank stock, and lives in his own house.
In his own
I shall be able
house.
to give a more...
I shall be able to give a more particular account of him as I propose to make a portrait of him, should I have the opportunity of doing it.
The diary was a vital resource for the author, who played a key role in piecing Yarrow's story together, drawing on Peale's account and a wide variety of other sources, from census data to shipping records.
I'm here at this library many years ago, and I saw this painting by James.
All right, so now this is 1800s, y'all. So if they can find all these records from a person from another country that's a slave in the 1800s, why
They say he came here in the 1700s, though. Remember, he came here in the 1700s and he got all these records.
Right. And they got all these records of him from 1818, 1819 with them drawing a picture of him. You know what I mean? So if he can have all of these records, y'all so-called African Americans out here who claiming this Pan-African shit, how y'all ain't got no records of y'all family? Huh? Come on.
Alexander Simpson. Georgetown is it's a lily white community, and so to see a painting of a black man at this library was sort of unusual. That's what started the whole project.
Where did Yarrow come from exactly?
Hey, and this is another thing, y'all. This is why this black thing is so, hey, man, it's a touchy subject with this black thing. And let's go. This is why, right here.
We don't know for sure, but he was a Fulani Muslim. And the Fulani were moving from Mali into Senegal, Guinea, and other places in West Africa at the time.
Islam comes to Africa itself.
Whoa. The Fulani was moving from Senegal to West Africa. So they wouldn't be in West Africa. They was moving. We don't know for sure. Let's go. I just want to make sure you hear everything. Let's go.
Where did Yarrow come from exactly?
We don't know for sure, but he was a Fulani Muslim. And the Fulani were moving from Mali into Senegal, Guinea, and other places in West Africa at the time.
Islam comes to Africa itself via the trans-Saharan trade routes and over North Africa down into West Africa.
Yeah. So if people don't know about the trans-Saharan slave trade, that was like the first, you could call it first, second, or whatever. But it's when they was coming and grabbing people from Africa, from what the story said, it was coming and grabbing people from the continent of Africa and taking them back into like Pakistan, what today is Pakistan, Canaanite, Turkey, all over the Estanians, all over the fucking Estanians, pretty much, all the way back to Asia to work in the salt mines and salt trades. All
and
this
remember,
shit like that.
remember OTK. Remember OTK at this time, 1800s, right? The Ottoman Empire has been for the last 200 years burgeoning the Muslim and Islamic slave trade into the Sahel, north and south, and we're smashing the western and northern coast full of European slaves.
Big facts. This is also the height of Barbary pirates that was patrolling them, those was also Ottomans. In case people don't know, these Barbary pirates, they was Ottomans to start it off with, but then they became anybody could have joined because they were selling them slaves to the Ottomans or to the Arabs to take them back over there. Yeah, correct. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
It was over Europeans, what they would call Europeans, or people kidnapped from the European continent that was in West Africa at this time, at the height of the so-called transatlantic slave trade.
This is why a timeline is so important, because they got to understand that the transatlantic slave trade, trans-Pacific slave trade, and the Saharan slave trade is all going on at the same time that white Europeans are being taken up out of Europe and sold in the western coast of Africa.
Right. And this is the beginning, 1700s. So in the 1600s in America, North America, the Caribbeans, and like they call Central America, the South America, the Caribbeans, they had a triangular war trade, POW, prisoner war trade. That happened right here. That happened in the triangle trade. This ain't got nothing to do with this so-called transatlantic slave trade. We was getting taken over there, and plus we was also in the triangle. Like they was shipping people from fucking Central America back to Boston, or you know what I mean, from Boston to the fucking Caribbean. That's the triangular, the inner triangular continental slave trade. This is before this.
Yep.
This is happening in 17. Ottomans, them boys, been doing what they was doing. They've been slaving and shit like that. But we talking about the height of the slave trade, y'all. We talking about dates right now.
And so this ought to let you know, if there are white people by the millions being sold on the western coast of Africa at the same time that they're saying that they're buying people from the western coast of Africa and enslaving them in the Caribbean. We got to start asking now the question, what the hell do the African look like?
Right. And on top of that, the damn Hebrew Israelites say they got shipped during the transatlantic slave trade. So who are they?
Where y'all come from?
Where do they fit in?
Right. You did what I'm talking about. Where your writings at, and your
West Africa Islam. So
where your upkeep on Torah at, and holding down the Levitical law or anything.
I told Sarnetta, man, the American Indian story, the American Aboriginal story kills that transatlantic slave trade, and your not only that, but it kills your 12 tribe chart.
It killed the 12 tribe chart, but it don't kill the transatlantic slave trade. It redefines it because it actually lets you know who was enslaved. This is why, listen, y'all, this is why when they mix an American with an African, they always call it a mulatto. How?
So you saying at this time that the European at this time, is that the Hebrew, is that the Israelite?
I'm saying for the most, yes, OTK. This is what they don't understand. This is what they don't understand since the fall of the Hasmonean dynasty. Listen, since the fall of the Hasmonean dynasty, about 70 BC, about 40 years before the fall of Egypt, right? These quote unquote Hebrew, Israelite, Jewish people who weren't Jews or Israelites, in fact, but they were upholding these processes. They went not into Africa, but into Europe.
Correct.
And I'm gonna fuck you up one more time. because it's funny that you brought them up. Owaspi say, your modern pale-faced white folks,
right?
Your modern pale-faced white folks is a three-way mix of these so-called Jews, Northern Africans who are Mediterranean Greek Greek Macedonians mixed with them Egyptians, the Ptolemaic dynasty people.
Ptolemy. Yeah, that's Jabari's strong point. He liked to talk about the Ptolemy dynasty and the mixed up ass people.
But they Greeks.
Yeah, they fucking Greeks.
Yeah, they Greeks. They Macedonians and Greeks.
Made them a god.
Right.
Josephus, you know, who turned into not Josephus, who turned into motherfucking Jesus, Serapis. But it's all good. But go ahead. Go ahead.
And where was I going with that?
Oh, you was talking about that they was a Greek
people. Oh yeah. Regardless to what niggas got to say about Owaspi say why we can't never figure out where white folks come from is because they don't come from one place. They just got bred in one place. Right? Dig this. They say they a three-way mix between that Mediterranean Greek Macedonian with the Northern African Egyptian mix. Them people, the Ptolemaic people, going into Europe, and the Jews going into Europe, mixing with the Aboriginal of Europe, and they just in there mixing. And that's how you become. This is how brown people produce white people, because it created a stable pale skin instead of it just being blotchy or it being vitiligo and all that stuff.
So you saying that Italian will be the final mixture? Because if
no,
you
he
look
would
at
the early Italian, right? the early Italian got a little of that. Well, I would say the early Macedonians.
Check out what I'm about to.
Got the early Italian in them. That's right. Yeah, got the Italian in them.
Check it, right? This is the reason why I say that, because, well, no, I can't say that. I take that back, because the Greeks are the Italians, and the Greeks came into Africa, so we will have to go before the Greeks. Shit, we will have to go.
Yeah, we gotta go before them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But what they saying is, what they saying is this three-way mix of people. Okay, because the North African can produce light skin. Of course, the Greeks and the Macedonians can produce light skin.
Yeah, Morocco, all of that shit there. Those northern countries, yes, that ties right on into Europe, which they call the Iberian Peninsula, which is Spain and all that. You can walk across, you can ride
and dig this. The ancient names of the countries, the names are 100% Egyptian. Like Spain, you just said Spain. Its ancient name is Espan, Espan, right? 100% Egyptian name. Celtic, Druid, Gaul, Dane, Rus, Johann.
Milestone. You know, when you talk about,
but the Arabic blood is nigger blood. It's nigger like us blood, but it's nigger from the east. These are these Israelite Jew niggas. I'm not talking about Africans. I'm talking about niggas that are just from the east, right? A nigga from the east. They call them Shemitic. They call them what do they call them? Asiatic black men. Right? These are the stocks that go on to produce your so-called Moseses and your Abrahams and your Israelite stocks. But these same stocks go to produce people like your Phoenicians, your Persians, right? All melanated niggas, right? Like the Elamites and all them, all melanated niggas, but they're not African. They in fact Persian. You dig what I'm talking about? But anyway, they say they a three-way mix of them people, and this is why the three people that go on the mix have the ability, the OCA2 gene and the I think it's SC245 or 24A2 gene that makes white skin, light hair, but we had already had the light skin genetic and the blonde hair genetic, and niggas had it independently from Europe. Right? We already had the blonde hair, blue eyes, every skin color already wrapped in niggas. But niggas can produce pale skin, just like Northern Africans can, and just like the Greeks can. Now imagine mixing with back in this time, the Aboriginal European is still melanated. He got some of the good hair, and he got the light eyes like Cheddar Man. You dig what I'm talking about? He got the light eyes. He still got some of the phenotype of the modern European, but he's melanated. Or the modern European has some of his phenotypical traits, right? But he melanated like Cheddar Man. Them three people, masses and groups of people heaping up on each other and admixing and twisting up genes, produce a OCA or pale skin gene that turns on. It's just like when you breed, let's say you breed a black dog and a red dog, right? You're going to have black dogs, you're going to have red dogs, you're going to have some buckskin dogs. But every now and then, a white will pop out. And if you breed that white back with other white dogs, you're going to produce white skin. It just becomes, it's not in a sense recessive to that population anymore. It may be recessive worldwide, but to that population, it has been able to lock itself in and produce its own certain phenotype different from its initial source. Right? So all that shit, always, y'all got to remember, think the old maps show the land of Shem, which is the land of niggas in the east, goes from Turkey all the way to Australia. It's Turkey, that middle ground up in there, all the way up to it's the land in between the four mountains, the Altais, the Himalayas, the Zagros, and the Hindu mountains. That's ancient Persia. But Persia sits in Shem. Shem is a landmass, not a person, right? It correlates to boats, landmass, and people who go on to repopulate a landmass also. It's also a time, but that's a whole nother story. That get into that whole Noah myth. But anyways, Shem extends from Turkey all the way to Australia. What happens when two continents touch? They make mountain ranges, right? So there's three continents pressed together. The African and the continent is the Eurasian, Indo, whatever the Indian continental slab in the middle, and then the Asian plate. They press together, And everywhere they press together, you got a mountain range. That middle ground is anciently called Shem, where Indians and niggas come from in the east. Yeah. Well, the Asian come in because their phenotype was already being produced. Right? You got to remember the stock that gets off the boats that repopulate certain land, the great land masses, the 4 great land masses, Africa, India, Asia, America. Them people that get off them boats is all one people. Right? No different than yeah, I know y'all gonna get petty and say that we different, but in effect, we not different. We all human, so we're obviously the same species. Right? So, and if you can't breed with a person, then however you look at that, whatever you want to look at. Right? But the Asian phenotype and his people are the first people to get off that land. That don't mean they still niggas, irregardless to what color they is. Because all aboriginals are niggas. There's no way around that. Even the
and that's the only connection. And that's the only connection, that everything starts from the nigga, no matter where you at.
It's a nigga there. And they hide him.
It's a nigga that started and they hide him.
He's still there. The crazy part, he's still there. OTK, they hide the nigga.
They hide the nigga and then tell you they brought him from somewhere else.
Yep. But you go ask the people, them black ass Indians in India, the Tamils and all them. But these people, they call them the CD or the untouchables. They say, they brought your people here on the African slave trade. He said, no, my people have always been here. And this is an Indian brother. He looked just like an African too. You dig what I'm talking about? They call them the CD, the untouchables. They the lowest class. The aboriginal is the lowest class in India. This shit crazy. And they niggas. They you know what I mean? When I say, he kind of they favor the African, well, at least to white people. To me, he looks like a nigga. Cause he not in effect African looking, if you know what I'm saying. He looked, for lack of better
words. The thing is though, right? I found out that when they talking and when they writing for themselves back in history, African is just a description of color.
Yes.
And also, just like Negro and just like that, because Negro wasn't being used over there. They was using African to describe a dark-skinned person.
Right.
And if you was in Europe writing to describe a dark-skinned person, you might have said swarthy or Ethiopian or whatever. But when go ahead. And this is one thing that y'all got to understand when we reading people history. That's why we don't always agree. We reading other people's history, but you got to understand they wasn't writing for us. They was writing for them to understand their lingo. So in order for us to have a general consensus of what the book is saying or what something is saying, some literature is saying, we got to look at who is writing it, the time they're writing it, who are they around, what he's been involved with.
Yep.
So now we can understand his literature. Yeah, whose side he on? Because if somebody reads Josephus in 1 year, you be like, yeah, Josephus was such and such. But then you read Josephus after the Flavian dynasty, you be like, oh, this motherfucker is a traitor. Yeah, he a sellout. Right. Right. Definitely. So that's how that's just an instance of what we're saying. So you got people, you got priors, you got friars, you got missionaries, you got Jesuits, you got all these different groups from all these different countries coming over here and writing. So that's why Cause will tell you, dog, if I find anything, I'll shoot it to him. He'd be like, oh shit, or something like that. And then he'll shoot something back to me that either go against that, well, this is what was going on and such. So now we see that over here, dog, it was multiple things going on at more than one time over here. Yeah. So now what we trying to figure out is how?
Yeah.
How is it that many of them to where all these things can be going down at one time? The only logical answer we come up with is that we help. Notice I ain't say y'all help or they help. I said we help.
Yeah, we did this.
We helped them, y'all.
Yeah.
This the only way multiple things can be going down in multiple places.
I mean, we do it today, though. It's not far-fetched. We still do it today.
Hold
on, I'm just saying, don't buds bang on Crips.
Right.
Don't G's bang on Lords. Don't foes, bang on, the peoples. You dig one? So you see how people have always come in to use that little dividing block that we have.
Don't Islam bang on the Christians? No, don't Christians bang on the Jews? On the Catholics? This shit is crazy, man.
Yeah.
So hey, shout out to Round Table Gang up in there. My day ones, goddamn it. That's my motherfucking day one. Salute.
You dig what I'm saying? It's not far-fetched.
Hey, y'all know they done capped me on the computer now. Oh yeah, bro. I should have never changed the title. They done capped me, dog. My frequency is gone. My network gone on the computer, bro. I said that at the beginning, like, yo, I'm doing good right now, boy. Hey, listen. Soon
you want
as
me
we
to
start
share?
iterating, bro. Yeah, you can. Hell yeah, you can share it all day. They can't do nothing with that.
Hold on, let me see if I hold on.
Sean John, what's happening, cuz? Good folks. Y'all share this out, man. Y'all see the title. Y'all share this out, man. I'm gonna show y'all some of the first Africans. Damn, I wonder if you got that second video. Do you got that second video? I'm gonna show y'all some of the first Africans coming over here who was brought over here and was bringing Islam over here too. And you see what they turned out to be. And also, I'm gonna show you some Africans who was being brought to help the North out They helped fight the South during the Civil War.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Help whoop the and then you got some of their bounty lands. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, and they got the bounty lands. Correct. So now, if I can show y'all somebody in the 1800s being brought over here to be that's fighting the Civil War up north. Now, whoever his descendants is, they can trace themselves back to Africa. Pay attention now, because he's a war veteran, and they can trace themselves back to Africa, exactly what tribe he come from and what area he come from.
Now they gonna say
now,
this nigga here 1750, bro.
Right? No, cause you dumb, man. So y'all motherfuckers who claiming to be a trans-African and saying that, yeah, if you see your peoples fighting in the war and that shit say color, that mean they come from Africa. Dog, listen, if you can't trace your shit back to Africa, literally, and this shit I'ma show you today, tonight, I'ma get Cosmon to help me. This shit I'ma show you that, yeah, you should be able to trace yourself, especially in the 1800s.
Yep, and especially
if you African. Especially if you African. Sachi just pull up in this thing. Juice. Hey, Juice.
What up, big
boy,
old
I'm about to drop that. Boy, Juice, I'm about to drop that song on that beat, dog. That's to be my new intro. You ain't even know. Dog, that's it about to go. That's it about to hit. Juice. Hey, Juice, I think that might be one of the rawest beats I ever heard you drop, Juice.
The story ain't what the white boy duped you into believing. You dig what I'm saying? That's not the real story. Your people signed
up. Hold up. Comet TV, 9124. I'm not an Abo. I'm an Indian. All right, I love my Abos. I love my Aboriginals, but you know what I mean. I literally trace myself to American Indian, so I don't need to guess about no Abo saying, oh, because of the motherfucking way I look. So you say the story always changes. Now it's Civil War Africans. Yeah, because you know why it's funny to you, my dog? Because you probably never heard of that.
Yeah.
You probably never heard of that. Y'all probably never heard that it was Africans being brought over here to fight in the Civil War.
No, they signed up to come here. North. Yeah, they didn't get brought here.
And they signed up to come here. Yeah, it wasn't no slave.
You fought with the white boys.
It wasn't no slave.
Yeah, you fought with
Big
the white
facts.
boys.
They wasn't no fucking.
Yeah.
Big facts. They wasn't no fucking slaves, nah. Yeah, they damn sure wasn't no fucking slaves.
No, you came over here.
Damn sure wasn't no fucking
you sold your fighting ability to the highest bidder. That's what it is.
Facts.
And a bunch of y'all did it.
Big facts. Big facts. Cause you stupid. And a bunch of y'all did it.
Olmecs are not African, brother.
Who said something about the Olmecs being African?
The Kemet TV, brother. He said
they're
not documented Africans at all.
No, they're not. That's some shit that your boy Ivan Van Sertima inserted.
Yeah,
that came from Ivan Van Sertima, bro. That didn't come from no historic. That didn't come from all scholars. That's not even in the consensus of scholars. What the fuck is wrong with y'all retarded ass people?
They were Olmecs were pants sagging, gold teeth wearing, dreadlock having, big gun toting ass Indians. That's a fact. Those are fact. They was niggery as fuck. What do you mean? Yeah. I think OTK just got knocked out real quick. When we come back in, man, we gonna show the video. Keep cooking, man. Somebody got to explain how this quote unquote Fulani Islamic brother is he got more for sure proven documented pictures than George Washington.
That's crazy work.
Let that sink in. There is more documented proof that this nigga lived and existed, did what he did, died, practiced what he practiced, and did everything he did than your very first quote unquote president of the United States. Huh?
This nigga say for 10 years never wore dreadlocks is an African culture. I thought Africa lost all their culture.
Africans can't grow dreadlocks, man.
Whoa. Papa Draco, what's up, bro? Papa Draco. I thought Africa, the African transatlantic slavery story is that they lost all their language and all their culture, correct?
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that noise is.
And ain't the story that they hid the beans and the fruits and the seeds all in their hair?
Oh, please don't do that one.
For the most part, Africans as a whole are not a long-haired people. You couldn't hide a goddamn paper clip in there.
Man, is that my phone doing that? Hey, let me drop down and pull back up. That shit sounds crazy.
Yeah, somebody. That's you, OTK?
Hell yeah.
Yep, just come back in, cuz.
Nah, I'm about to drop out my other phone. They let me back in on the computer.
You good now?
No, they don't. They don't. African soldiers don't wear dreadlocks.
Well, whatever. Casino. Salute. Yeah, hey, Juice beat me to it though, man. When y'all was talking about the Olmecs being Africans, I'm like, nigga, there's not one Olmec head in Africa.
Never.
Yeah.
They probably got a concrete what you call them a remake.
Yeah, shit, I was talking to Bab about that. He said they had the long niggas Olmec. Y'all niggas had to borrow an Olmec head? That's crazy.
TV, right. All you can do is, if you can convert us with your information right now, dog, you would be the first. If you even got any sense, because for you to say you Kemet, you should know that, like, yo, I done left y'all alone. I just was chilling and I stopped beating up on y'all. I left y'all alone. You know what I mean? But
there's nothing like the Olmec heads in Africa. Nothing.
This
and your statues were put together again in the 1920s and 40s. We got the same thing out in the deserts in California. Why? Because they rebuilt them again.
Man, that's the shit that Mexico donated to them or something. But what the fuck?
Yeah, man. Y'all don't wait till they find out the real good shit, OTK.
Hey, listen, if it was colossal heads like that already in Egypt, when they got over here and saw it over here, they would have automatically known who those people was, and they wouldn't have named them Olmec. They would have named them Egyptian.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? They quit playing with us, man. Because is this the same one with the Muslim, with your boy?
Yeah, it's in the back, bro. It's already up.
Kimmy TV, pull up and get your ass shot in the face.
These niggas wild around here. They shoot.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still in the chat. Like,
Somebody
I was here at this library many years ago, and I saw this painting by James Alexander Simpson. Georgetown is it's a lily white community, and so to see a painting of a black man at this library was sort of unusual. That's what started the whole project.
Where did Yarrow come from exactly?
We don't know for sure, but
We
he was
don't
a
know for
Fulani
sure.
Muslim. And the Fulani were moving from Mali into Senegal, Guinea, and other places in West
He
Africa.
from Persia,
at the time.
y'all.
Islam comes to Africa itself via the trans-Saharan trade routes and over North Africa down into West Africa.
Islam was implanted in Africa for over 1,000 years. The spread of Islam went hand in hand with the spread of literacy in Arabic. So there were schools for boys and girls.
Stop right
There
there,
were
bro.
also
Stop right there, bro. Stop right there, bro. Hey, listen now. They're telling you that people in Africa are literate. They know Islam. They know what's going on. So how could you not know, man? But just rewind it back just a little bit. This is crazy.
Yeah.
The spread of Islam went hand in hand with the spread of literacy for over 1,000 years.
Yeah, this is 1,000 years before our quote unquote slave trade even started.
Even started. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Crazy.
Islam was implanted in Africa for over 1,000 years. The spread of Islam went hand in hand with the spread of literacy in Arabic. So there were schools for boys and girls. There were also institutions of higher learning, and they traveled all over, not only West Africa.
So if you got schools of people a higher learning before the transatlantic slave trade,
Mm-hmm.
or these are people that supposedly came in the transatlantic slave trade that came with a degree of higher learning, how can they forget their African roots or the African culture
or Arabic their language? And then why don't we see? And then why don't we see the quote unquote slaves speaking Arabic at all? None of them.
Correct, cause. Correct.
None of
That's
them.
what
They may speak a patois from anywhere, but they ain't speaking Arabic.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to be speaking though, because you got to understand now. It's either get down or lay down.
Yeah. Same thing they doing today with any of these other languages in their country. You dig what I'm talking about? You go to, let's just say Lagos or anywhere. They speak the language they speak, but they speak French too.
Yeah, right. So what they would do is they would drop a decree to say, yo, this is the national language. And at the time, before the transatlantic slave trade, the national language was Latin. So anything else that was being spoken had to come from the lower regions. Because in Europe, your king and your queen say Latin is going to be the language. That's why Spain,
or Arabic,
Portugal, yeah.
Yeah, it's Latin or Arabic. You're speaking one of the two. You're right. Well, if you may not even be speaking one or two, but whatever you're writing in, you're writing in Latin or Arabic.
Correct. Wherever you at, the national language. When it's the national language, and you will fuck around and get hanged or killed speaking the wrong language. Big facts. That's what we need to. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Cause I'm gonna start going into these damn wars that was going on over there, and show them that dog. You spoke the wrong shit. You fucking was getting put to a stake.
Right.
You know. But go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you right on point. I'm gonna just run it back just a tad, and then we just start.
learning, and they travel all over, not only West Africa, but to Mecca, to Egypt, to learn.
They also are interested in not necessarily being Arab, as it were, but practicing Islam through this African sensibility.
This was the world Mamadou Yarrow knew until he reached his teens, when everything changed. Around 1750, Yarrow and his sister were sold to British slave traders after being captured, probably in a local war.
Probably. Wait a minute.
Whoa. Ha. So if y'all don't know, Africans sold Africans. That's what local mean, y'all.
Yeah.
And sold to the British.
And also probably mean they guessing.
Right. But guess who was up north that was fighting the South? The British. British and England would not come together against the South.
They gonna figure out what a Norseman is and a Saxon is for real.
Oh shit.
He's in a center of Islamic learning, and then boom, just like that, he becomes a captive of the slave trade.
You see how they just made the story up? He's in the center of Islamic learning. So they know, they don't really know where he's from. Remember that they saying he's a practicing Fulani. That's what they saying right now. Right.
And got caught up in
they're inventing the story because they really don't know. But what's gonna be written down that has merit. What was written down and is a witness, what do you call that? A source of the time source. You dig what I'm talking about? That throw credibility to what's being said about this man, especially if it's coming from him.
Facts.
Right? Remember, a lot of these people, they got spoken to before this documentary got put together. So they just cutting and chopping and splicing, putting stuff together.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And many of these people don't know shit. Or even if they do know, they can't say it.
But the crazy shit is, if I was a person making this documentary and I'm questioning people, I wouldn't even let them know the full information that I know about him until afterwards. Because I would want they you know what I mean, they undivided thoughts upon the situation. You understand?
And
what I'm saying?
And now look, exactly what OTK just explained is what they're doing.
That's what you do when you're a journalist.
That's when you a real journalist. You dig what I'm talking about? You let them, the premise is the premise, right? How you get to it is all your own as an author. But when you're using different people as a sources, you must let them come across authentic. And if she don't know, she's going to say, oh, he comes from a center of Islamic learning, but we just learned we don't know where exactly he's from.
Correct.
Yet. And
correct.
And
Go ahead.
You dig what I'm saying? But it's just amazing. It's so much documentation on this, Nick. Huh? Watch this. It get uglier. Let's run through it a little bit.
And he becomes one of the estimated 12.5 million people that from 1525 to about 1867 were taken.
Okay, they mixing up the dope. They're mixing up the dope. Right? If this was happening, first of all, we got for show cameras after 1826. We should see this real live time in a picture. This is a rendition. This boat was never made, right? These men aren't real. They're drawings. And here we go with this number that David Eltis has already proved is false, especially when you're talking about coming to North America. Ain't no 12.5 million people came here. And let's just say they did, right? They came to the Americas. They say that only roughly 3% of all quote unquote African slaves ever embarked off or undocked off into the Americas. That's 3,000 people, y'all. It's actually less than that. And you talking about over a span of, don't they tell us 500 years? 400, however you want to. Dodge the hijack, y'all. This is some hump. Where is this boat at? Huh? You know how many of these you'd have to make and pack full of people and not miss none to get 12.5 million people over here when you can only roll about 4 months of the year and it take about 3 months to get over here. The math ain't math.
From Africa to the New World.
Yarrow and his sister survived the notorious Middle Passage, a grueling journey across the Atlantic that took several months. The ship Elijah carried them to Annapolis, Maryland, where in the summer of 1752, brother and sister were put up for sale, advertised in a local paper as pieces of property.
This is a page from the Maryland Gazette, a weekly newspaper published in those days.
So it says just imported in the Elijah, directly from the coast of Africa.
A parcel of healthy slaves consisting of men, women, and children. So they're bringing children over as well.
And it will be, is it
disposed of on board the said vessel?
For sterling money, bills of exchange, gold or paper currency.
Yarrow and his sister were separated in Annapolis. What became of her is unclear, but Yarrow was enslaved on a tobacco plantation in Montgomery County, now the suburbs of Washington, D.C. In the decades that followed, records suggest he had a son here with an enslaved woman. Around 1790, Yarrow's life changed again, when his enslaver brought him to Georgetown. Today, it's one of Washington's most exclusive neighborhoods. In Yarrow's
How does he end up in Georgetown?
It was purchased by one of Georgetown's most famous families, the Beale or Bells, Samuel, initially, who makes him his manservant, or might be a fancy name for a valet.
I think he was smart enough to learn how to be around his enslaver. It's different if you're a field hand or you're in sort of doing other kinds of chores. That may have even helped to preserve him from not being broken down in certain kinds of ways as others are.
In order to make money, the Bells or Beals like for him to be industrious. They also require that he give whatever he makes to them, but they give some of the money back.
And so what type of work was Yarrow doing?
Whoa. Stop right there, bro. Stop right there, bro.
He sold baskets.
Stop right there, bro. How can I be a slave owner and I want you to pay me whatever you earn if you're my slave? Where's you earning other shit from, bro? If you're my slave. It sounds like these people was like contract holders, or what they would call today contractors, and they were subcontracting out these people. But they was calling them slaves. Cause this sounds like subcontracting to me.
Exactly. That's what an indenture is, bro. It's work.
And it also sounds today like the modern jail system. I own the jail. I own the prisoners. Oh, y'all need some work done on the pipeline? Boom. I'll let y'all hire out 50 employees. Y'all give me such and such amount of dollars. Work release, goddammit.
Yeah.
And in the same time, so y'all don't think y'all getting fucked over, I'll let y'all shorten up some of y'all time. Especially y'all who owe for child support. I'ma definitely send y'all first, because now y'all can pay y'all child support off with this. So y'all can get out.
My thing is, cool. You were able to make money, I guess, because you were skilled. They said he was selling baskets or whatever, right? Okay, cool. But by 1790, you already 40. If your story is correct, you 40 already, right? How is it possible?
Yeah,
you were a slave all the way this time. You were a slave all the way this time.
Mm-hmm.
Why, if you are a slave, would your master let you have money or earn anything?
Anything.
Because everything you got is mine.
Right.
Why would I give you anything?
Why would I give you anything?
Yeah, the story don't make sense. But you my slave. But I own
you. You had a baby by an enslaved woman.
Huh.
See, this the crazy shit. When they talking about black people, they always put enslaved. When they talk about white people, they will say indentured.
Yeah.
Let's go, Kyle. Dang.
Crazy.
This shit crazy.
He made charcoal. He had that technique. He sold baskets. He also made bricks. He commanded 1.5 times what a white brick maker could.
In Georgetown, Yarrow joined a growing community of black people, both enslaved and free. Many of them and their descendants are buried at Georgetown's Mount Zion Cemetery, established in the early 1800s. This graveyard...
Oh, I got a dog bill OTK too. You know, the people who was getting ran up out of the South. You dig what I'm talking about? Niggas getting their land taken, stolen, bamboozled. You dig what I'm talking about? The war coming through, bounty land shit. You dig what I'm talking about? And people was running up north. They was many times leaving their identities of who they were, where they in their home. So they had to have a way to prove who they were, man. Niggas is so ingenious, bro. And as much as I got to say, we know that the church did, I will say too, there is a pocket of good people in the churches, man, who allowed different things to happen. So when you would see pictures of our old ancestors, they would hold their hands a certain way. They would be standing a certain way because they're actually giving off signs and symbols of who they are. And the picture has a code that would tie into a registry, into a church to prove who you was. And this is how we was keeping that Aboriginal history. And this is why times when we go look back, I don't know about you, but I know I did. When I went and looked back, my family got multiple Bibles full of people, OTK I ain't never heard of. Some of these people don't even pop up on my genealogy. You dig what I'm talking about? But they say that's the son of my great auntie or some shit. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, they not gonna pop up on your genealogy or your tree because you gotta understand something about that tree. Somebody got to plug them people in.
That's right.
That's why somebody can plug the wrong person in your tree because they think they part of your family. But it's up to you to be like, nah. They got the same name, but the dates ain't adding up, the time ain't adding up. But that's why it's tedious research with that shit.
Yeah, it is.
Big facts. It's very, very tedious. But if you know where your peoples them come from, where they started at, go to the goddamn church. The church got everybody that they baptized. And I'm telling y'all, 90% of the people in the community got baptized. Like he said, this is how they was documenting people. It was not only just baptism, we didn't understand it, but it was like a registry.
Yeah, it was a registry.
It was the school.
To keep
it was the school. Right. It was the school too, because that was like protection at one, you know.
And remember, this is during Reconstruction, right after the war. You know, up into the early 1900s. You dig what I'm talking about? They was trying to fuck. They was fucking with niggas. It was disenfranchised the nigga. That's what Jim Crow is. It's disenfranchised.
You gotta understand too. In the 1800s, bro, shit. Charleston was up underneath Negro rule with the government. Was up underneath Negro rule after 1865. I mean, before 1865. That shit was up underneath Negro rule. This is one of the reasons of the war. It wasn't about freeing no goddamn slaves. It was because the North wanted peace of what the South had going on.
Yeah. And, you know, we remember we can't never...
and we had too much of their people. We had too much of their peoples enslaved too. I ain't gonna lie. Boy, us American Indians, we ain't shit in the South. Boy, we ain't shit in the South. But we had all them white slaves down here. Boy, we ain't shit. Cause
when the real story is not gonna shake like what people think it is. It's gonna hit like a It's gonna hit like a because now you got to a lot of niggas gonna have to deal with the fact that really your family was the slave.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all call them. Oh, my family came here as refugees and they was servants. They was indentured servants, but they didn't tell you that your family was indentured servants to mine.
And it be like that. It be like that. And wait till they start to figuring out. This is what's gonna really blow their mind when they start looking at history. That many of the Europeans who came over here during colonial period, the mass majority, especially prior to 1892, were heavily melanated, or at least mixed.
What they would call swarthy.
Yeah, swarthy. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is gonna be the capper. This is what's gonna twist the cap all the way back when they find out that the people being sold to the Spanish, to the Portuguese, to the Dutch, to whoever is bringing them over here to the Americas, right? That those people coming off the western coast of the continent of Africa And when they get on that boat, hence Africans are primarily pale face.
That's gonna really kill them.
That's gonna fuck them up. And this is where y'all get the word redneck from. Y'all, they get that redneck from being in the mountains. Where's the mountains at? In the Caribbean.
Oh, hiding all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mountain John. Hillbillies.
Go ahead, bro.
Rednecks. You dig what I'm talking about? That's where they get the term from being enslaved in the Caribbean. Africans.
Gives us a glimpse into the type of community Yarrow was entering.
Yeah, we don't want you to look at him in isolation. We want you to understand that there were people, a community of which he was part, that shared the same kinds of goals.
And most of these would have been black men, women, children
Black
who
men,
lived.
and we have some who may have perhaps even known Yarrow, or certainly they knew of the kind of existence that he was living because they had lived it.
And Yarrow himself, though, is not buried here.
He is not
right?
buried here. As far as we know, he is buried in his backyard. Haven't found him yet,
Yeah.
but we hope to one day if he is there.
Yarrow spent the early 1790s working in Georgetown for his enslaver's son, Brooke. While around him, the newly formed nation took shape, and Washington, D.C. was established on the farmland next door. What happened to Yarrow next is recorded in Peele's diary.
When Charles Wilson Peele came to paint his portrait in 1819, he was so intrigued by Yarrow's story that he went to Margaret Beale, Brooke Beale's widow. She told him it was true.
Early in the morning, went to see some of the family who had knowledge of him for many years, whose ancestors had purchased him from the ship that brought him from Africa. The widow Bell told me that Yarrow was always an industrious, hard-working man and had served them faithfully for many years. And her husband, intending to build a large house in Georgetown, told Yarrow if he would be very industrious in making the bricks for that house, that when he made all the bricks, that he would set him free.
So he obtained his freedom by essentially agreeing to make bricks.
The man who had contracted the promise died, and before he got his freedom. But
sound like a job to me, OTK. The man contracted for a job.
That sound like indentured servitude to me too, bro.
Yeah. He contracted the man.
But remember now, at this time, they say Yarrow was charging double what a normal brick maker would make. He knew how to make bricks. How the fuck you learn how to make bricks? How did you learn how to make bricks? What trade school did you go to? What Indian you been involved with to know how to take the dirt from the land and mix it with some kind of plant and heat it up and melt it down and put it back together and then cool it in order to goddamn make a brick? Yeah, I just gave y'all a diagnosis in the process of making a brick. Yes. Who showed him this shit? Go ahead.
Wherever he learned it. Huh? This 1790, buddy. You 40 years old. You been out of Africa. So-called.
Word. So-called.
Yeah.
You work on a tobacco farm. Now all of a sudden you come off an Indian tobacco farm. Now all of a sudden you know how to make brick. Make that make sense.
And then I gotta kind of wonder, what was he doing with his bricks that was so special that he could charge double in that time?
See, correct, bro.
Supposed to be a slave, as you know. How was he charging?
Right? How could you charge double?
Huh.
It don't make no sense.
And then they had to be in demand.
Big facts. Because they never saw no brick houses before until they got over here. They didn't know nothing about the adobe brick until they got over here. They didn't know nothing about no brick or blocks or none of that shit like that. They knew about limestone. Now, I ain't gonna take that from them. They knew about masonry, but they didn't know about brick masonry, like taking the damn red clay and then building it and then putting mortar in between it. On that level. That's what we did over here. We put mortar in between the hole and locked the bricks together. Now, with they bricks over there and with they stones, they just was able to design the stones so them bitch interlock with each other, which is another mastery. I don't take that from nobody over there. I don't take that
do
wherever
that
they
here.
got that shit from. Yeah,
No,
we definitely do that here. Yeah, we definitely do that here.
We got Satsé Huaman. We got Ole Tantambe Tumbo. We got Huyawan.
Yeah.
Man, we got so many
Uh-huh.
places with megalithic structures. Older here.
But see, Cosmo, you know one thing about me, bro. You know, I'm just worried about keeping our peoples them here. I don't want to take them into that older thing, man, because boy, when them boys get caught up with that older thing, they don't know how to come back. Their whole life is to prove who's here first and who was here before. No, we just need to keep proving it, keep finding shit and keep studying, and automatically it's gonna prove it by itself.
Yeah, all you need to know is who
You know what I mean? It's who you is, yeah, Cosmo. See, Cosmo, you deep into this shit, Cosmo. So yeah, with you been out here for a while, bro. So you know what I mean? And me, I get into that, but then I start saying, you know what, boy, I don't want to go down this fucking rabbit hole because I know my mind. If I go down this rabbit hole with dates and shit like that, that might take me off of my missionary work. So that's the only reason why I don't. That's why I like brothers like you to come up. You know what I mean? So y'all can bring the dates and all that shit to them boys and let them know what's older. You know? Word now, for real. That's why I leave lanes open for other people. I'm an Indian missionary, dog. All I do, I just go out to convert people. Either you get out or you lay up. I ain't going on no crusade yet, but I'm just waiting for the word. Once I get the word that I can go on a crusade, then I'm going on a crusade. American Indian, American Indian Knights Templar, motherfucker.
Hey man, y'all stay away from OTK, man. Y'all leave that boy. Don't give him nothing. I see y'all giving him something else. I'm fighting you. Don't give OTK nothing else tonight.
Well, shout out to the Indian missionaries out
Understanding what her husband's desire was, carried through with it.
The widow told Yarrow that as he had performed his duty, that she had made the necessary papers to set him free, and now he was made free.
So Yarrow becomes a free man in August of 1796?
That's correct.
And he would have been what age at this point?
He was 60 years old.
60 years old, he becomes a free
you're a slave
man.
until you're 60. And his life started anew then.
After Yarrow obtained his freedom, he worked hard and saved his money until he got $100, which he put into an old gentleman's hand to keep for him. That person died, and Yarrow lost his money. However, he still worked as before and raised another $100, which he put into the care of a young merchant in Georgetown. But this merchant became a bankrupt. Yet not dispirited, he worked hard and saved a third sum, amounting to $200. Some friend of Yarrow advised him to buy bank stock in the Columbia Bank, and he was amongst the first who contributed to that bank.
With his money, Yarrow bought a plot of land on what was then the outskirts of Georgetown, now a quiet street named Dent Place, Northwest. The man who'd arrived from Africa on a slave ship was now a landholder, one of the first black people of any faith to own land in the DC area in his own name.
And listen, and you know,
This is the recorded
no,
deeds
this is
ledger
supposed
book
to be
from
the
1800
this
in
is supposed to
Washington,
be
D.C.
the slave the freedom story,
And it's
bro.
all
This shit is crazy. This is
It is
supposed to be the you coming from a slavery, you can come here as a slave and you can buy yourself out of slavery. Hold up, y'all. Y'all know what's crazy about this whole thing? Why y'all ain't hearing no stories like what goddamn Frederick Douglass and all of them was telling y'all from up north that they was getting whipped and all kind of shit like that. Now, this is a man that's coming across here that came across here with their fathers, them. Shit, let's just say it. He's 70, 90, 18, 19. He was rolling with Frederick Douglass, them boys, fucking daddy and shit like that, and mamas, them. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, he came across here, y'all. No stories about him being whipped or nothing. All y'all hear about stories about him working. That's
he
it.
got a an ass brick business. Cause he
got a big
quick. He raised that little bread up quick, didn't he?
Hold up. Not only that, bro. He could have weaved baskets out of the plants. He was selling baskets too. Yeah, people like to miss that. Don't miss that part.
No,
he was selling.
Say it again.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yep, go ahead.
All right. He was selling baskets.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
mm-hmm.
What kind of baskets was he selling? These had to be plant-based baskets that he was making. How did he know what plants over here to use to make baskets?
Maybe his grandma from Louisville, Kentucky told him. No, they got a lot of sweet grass down there in Kentucky.
Hey, he learned a lot. He learned a lot on that goddamn tobacco farm. That's all I say.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He learned a lot. He learned a lot on that tobacco farm. Go ahead, cuz.
This is crazy.
in this beautiful script, and this is his deed of Yarrow's house.
10th day of January, 1800. Wow, okay. And do you see Yarrow's name here? Oh, here it is. You see his name,
Yes.
Yarrow.
And it gives him a half lot in Georgetown. That was a piece of property 35 feet wide and 150 feet deep. So it was a big piece of property.
What did having this land allow him to do personally?
He brought his son in to live with him, brought his wife in to live with him.
So he was able to have a family in a way that
Yes.
so many slaves were often separated from
That's
their
correct.
families.
That's
and
correct.
Families were broken apart.
In Georgetown, Yarrow became well known as a freedman owning property. He was also known for his faith, for being a Mohammedan, the term sometimes used for Muslims back then.
Yarrow has been noted for sobriety and cheerful conduct. He professes to
Y'all know the gang only ones be talking about the Muhammadans.
Y'all already know. Motherfucker didn't even know what a Mohammedan was when I first said it. They was like, man, OTK, what the fuck you talking about a Mohammedan? I said, man, y'all crazy as hell, dog. If y'all don't know who a Mohammedan is, then y'all don't know the Ishmaelites. What the fuck?
You don't know.
Come on,
Islam.
man.
You don't know.
You don't know no Islam. None of that. Let's go.
Mohammedan and is often seen and heard in the streets singing praises to God. And conversing with him, he said, man is no good unless his religion comes from the heart. The acquaintances of him often banter him about eating bacon and drinking whiskey, but Yarrow says it is no good to eat hog, and drink whiskey is very bad.
Enslaved Africans did not lose their customs,
Uh-oh.
their
What?
religions,
Uh-oh.
their culture.
Uh-oh.
They continued
Uh-oh.
as much
Uh-oh.
as they could in the confines of enslavement.
Rewind that back real quick, cuz that shit say that lets you know that these Africans didn't lose their customs or nothing. Let's go. Let's go, Carl.
As much as they could in the confines of enslavement to be true to who they were.
Where, OTK? Where? Where are these cultures?
I don't know. Could you
Languages.
just bring it back just a little bit? Because they say they lost everything. Remember in the transatlantic slave trade, they say they lost all of their culture, their language, everything, bro. Everything. Remember now, he's doing the transatlantic slave. He's saying nothing now. He's doing the transatlantic slave trade. Huh?
Where the hell did you just go? Your mic sounded crazy. It just said. Nyeh.
Oh, I got these fucking. Let me cut these glasses off. Hold up. Let me cut my Bluetooth off. All right. You hear me now? Mic check. One check.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Yeah, I had them damn glasses on, man. All right. You can hear me now, bro?
Yup, you sound good.
All right.
All right. Hold on.
Yeah, this is
Whiskey
crazy.
is
for
very
real.
bad.
Watch this, okay.
Enslaved Africans did not lose their customs.
Enslaved Africans did not lose their customs. So why is your last name Harrison again? Why ain't your last name Mbekwe? Nigga, if you did not lose your culture, nigga, you would be practicing it right now, my nigga. But you are practicing nothing. You are practicing nothing but American, Aboriginal, Indian culture. It's from here, and everybody jocks our stuff. Everybody. We're the swaggiest people on the earth, man. Soon as y'all figure that out, man. Soon as y'all start loving on each other a little bit.
Hey, check it now. And he came during the 1700s. So it's still the transatlantic slave trade is going on.
It's going on, bro. Hold on, I gotta run it back just a little bit. One more time.
Good God.
You did not lose your culture, your language, your ethnicity. Stop it. Stop with it. It's an excuse.
Enslaved Africans did not lose their customs, their religions, their culture. They
Where that religion and that culture at today, OTK?
Yeah, and she said religions.
Yeah. Where it's at?
So did the European bring Christianity here, or did y'all African indentured servants bring Christianity here?
Yeah. Right.
Huh? Which one? My brother Tim up in this bitch. Which one? Because y'all ain't lose nothing. And then y'all came in with the church. Y'all was African missionaries right along with the European missionaries.
Facts.
We got records of that too now.
What they don't want to
go ahead. I just want to be for real. When I bring that out, that's gonna kill everything, dog. When I show them that the Africans was helping the Europeans with Catholicism and and Protestantism and
well,
all of these isms.
Well, OTK. Well, Africa had Christianity before Europe did.
That's facts.
Yeah,
that's
it's in
facts.
Africa way before it's in Europe.
That's facts.
Now
Europe
they
didn't.
took it
Europe,
over.
from what the book said, Europe didn't accomplish fucking Christianity until Paul.
Yeah, that's the end of the first century.
And he
That's
didn't
at least
even walk with
100
Jesus. That's when Christianity came there.
I would
Before that,
say,
dog, they had many gods.
Right. I would say they had already had it at least 343 BC, or parts of it, all the way
Parts
back
of
into
it.
Serapis, because they called the worshipers of Serapis Christians.
But that's because they came into Egypt.
Yep, that's 134.
That's why. Because they witnessed Christianity when they came into Egypt, when they came into Africa. That's when they witnessed Christianity.
It was already
That's how
there.
Alexander peoples took that shit back.
That's right.
The Ptolemies and all of these boys are descendants or generals of fucking Alexander, or so-called what they call Alexander the Great.
Yep.
You're Macedonians.
Yep.
So you know what I mean. Anything else is, yeah. Go ahead, bro. What Tim up in this thing, brother? Tim Washington up in this thing, Cosmo. What's happening, Tim?
What up, though?
What up, though? What's the deal with y'all?
What's the word?
Man, we just up here just working.
Hold on,
right,
hold
so-
on, Tim. Hold on, hold on. I gotta show my nigga Tim real quick, because they always say when they came over here, they got enslaved and they lost their religion, their language, their heritage, their culture, their ethnicity, everything. They say they lost everything, Tim. Now let's see what the historian got to say about these so-called enslaved Africans. Watch this.
Very bad.
Enslaved Africans did not lose their customs, their religions, their culture. They continued to, as much as they could in the confine of enslavement, to be true to who they were.
In the picture, it seems that he kept
to as their religions and did not.
Is very
Hold
bad.
Hold on, pause.
Enslaved Africans did not
Pause.
lose their customs, their religions.
Dog, I know I came in the bill late, right? But I just got a couple questions and then we could keep moving, right?
Yeah.
This dude's name was Yarrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is his last name?
Mahmoud.
Mahu?
Mahmoud.
Yeah, they say it in there.
As in Mahmoud?
Yeah, you know, one of the terrorists' name was Mahmoud. Yeah, I got you.
Okay,
from
so my
from
question
Yemen,
is,
from Yemen and
dude-
Saudi.
Okay, Yemen and the
He from
the
Persia,
Trans-Saharan
real.
slave
Pakistan,
trade,
Yemen, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Let's just say he from up in that area, which that's why Cosmo say Persia.
Okay, so my simple question is, now I'm not gonna say nothing about his native tongue or nothing like that yet.
Right.
My surface level childlike question would be, why is this dude's first name an American plant?
Yeah, a yarrow plant.
Yeah.
A yarrow is a plant native to the Americas, especially North America. Why is this dude's name Yarrow? And what did that mean to him and his people?
Right, because he was, remember, he was born about 1736. When they say he got here, it was 1750. He would have already been 14.
So his people could have named him after a plant, bro.
Right.
Because they been none over here.
But that plant
They
ain't
been
in
none over
Africa.
here. Right.
That plant ain't in Africa. The yarrow ain't in Africa.
Correct.
It's not an African plant. It's in Eurasia, but when did it get over there? That's an American plant. Why would he be named after American plant and call it what we call it over here, not what they call it over there?
That's a good question.
I'm just asking because the story don't account for that. Y'all got it though. Y'all continue.
Shit, they said also, bro, they don't know exactly where he's from.
Where he even from?
He know though.
All they told us is that he's a Fulani Muslim.
he practiced Muslim like the Fulanis.
Fulanis. That's all that's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keeping it vague because they know they looked in his Quran and that Quran said he was born in Virginia.
Yeah, right. And he didn't even had a Quran at the time. He had the Mohammedan Bible.
What was that?
The Mohammedan Bible is the Quran at this time. It wasn't no Quran at the time in the 1700s, bro.
Yeah.
So in his Mohammedan Bible, he knew where he was from.
Yeah.
Right.
And he could have told him if he came over here at 14, he remember where he came from.
Exactly.
That's old enough to know what boat you got off of.
And if I'm not mistaken, he say where he from in here.
He say
okay.
The crazy shit is too though, right? Is that how you come across here and you ain't got your slave owner's last name?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Remember, that's another saying. See, I'm going after the sayings that they always say. Oh, you got your slave owner's last name. Why he don't have his slave owner's last name? And when we look at record, nobody really has their slave owner last name. And if you do got your so-called slave owner last name, that was your granddaddy.
Yeah,
or that was your mama granddaddy.
Or it was your daddy.
Or it was your daddy, depending on how old you is.
Yeah.
Right. And this dude is doing a whole lot of things that somebody who not your family wouldn't have let you do. He reading, he writing, he buying land, he traveling. Your slave master let you do all that?
And you rolling with your son now. You done been a slave by the owner, and now you still a slave from the son, which is your nephew. That sounds like you was supposed to, like you just stayed around your nephew. They continued on with that authority shit like they had in Europe. You know what I mean? If I'm the king and I got a son, until my son become of age, my brother will take over the throne and guide my son in the right ways and all of this right here until my son become of age to become. That's what I'm hearing right here, bro.
Well, if he was
and when I
chattel, wouldn't
study
they have
history,
told his
this is
son?
what I hear. Yeah, he wasn't chattel though, and he was married to an enslaved woman too. Also,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. All he had to do was to get out of servitude, bro, was build a brick house. Because the brick he was
ain't no
making,
slave.
he could charge 2 times as much as the white person for his bricks than everybody else, bro.
That's not slavery. That's a contract, bro.
I told you. That's exactly what we said. Exactly what we said. The crazy part, you just repeated what we said.
Yeah.
I wasn't even here for that.
Word for word, you just repeated what we said. I ain't even lying.
Well, let me shut the fuck up before I repeat something else. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
This is crazy, man.
Their culture, they continue to, as much as they could in the confine of enslavement, to be true to who they were.
In the picture, it seems that he kept the tradition of wearing the beard, which is something distinctive to Muslim men. He has his head covered. So that's also something that's distinctive to Islamic practice.
It's kind of a knitted thing, not necessarily fully Islamic, as it were. But I think there's a kind of intentionality there. That's what's so powerful about it.
At the time, was his faith considered strange to people? How was Islam interpreted? Do we know at that time?
It depended on your level of education. It depended on your level of exposure.
But people knew that Yarrow was Muslim here in
Yeah,
Georgetown?
oh yeah.
Islam was a recognized religion. Educated Americans would have known that there were Muslims in West Africa. Probably also they were seeing Muslim activity in the United States.
Some of the enslaved people maintained practices that the enslavers noticed, right, made note of, and watched.
Wearing skull caps and turbans and veils, celebrating Islamic holidays, refusing pork and alcohol.
Someone like Yarrow, he seems like an anomaly, but he's not that unusual insofar as being very religious and educated.
Peele's diary reflects this apparent familiarity with Muslims in early America. What stands out to Peele is not Yarrow's faith, but his age.
Yarrow was supposedly 134 years old. Turns out he was sort of figuring his age by a different calendar. Yarrow was probably 83 in this picture. Peele was also older. He was in his late 70s, and he gave lectures in his museum about healthy lifestyle and how you would be able to reach an old age. Longevity was a theme. He had started painting older people in 1795, but there's more going on here. There's a looking that happens in this picture from the artist to the sitter. I think he really appreciated who Yarrow was, his sort of power that he had, which I think comes across in the portrait. There's an intensity there. I mean, if you look at it, it's a beautiful picture.
Charles Wilson Peele talked about why he thinks that Yarrow had this kind of longevity. And he said it's because he believes that he wasn't drinking alcohol, that he was praying a lot. Peele was thinking about Yarrow as a Muslim enslaved man, right? And not just a Muslim enslaved man, but a devout Muslim.
Hey,
Peele spent
Cosman,
only
you
2
notice
days
the
with Yarrow,
beginning.
but Yarrow seems to have made
You know,
a deep...
Yarrow is the predecessor of religion up north, as far as Islam. Them boys say that they knew the Americans or whatever would have known what he was practicing up north. They would have already known that that was Muhammadan. What later on what became Islam. Right. Yeah. So he was already practicing this shit. Dog, this is the progenitor of your beanie caps and all of that, bro. This is your progenitor.
Interesting. That's interesting.
This is your progenitor, bro. He brought that shit with him over here.
Oh, he
the one who said, don't eat pork, don't eat pigs, don't eat none of this. Come on, bro.
Don't drink no wine. Yeah.
Don't drink no wine. Don't drink no alcohol or none of that shit there. And look at the areas he was in. He was in DC, from Georgetown to goddamn Vermont.
It's even today. Shit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And this 1700s going into 1800s, he doing this.
Right, and he right down the street from the White House. They just built it.
They just built it, bro. This shit is crazy as shit. What you think, Tim?
Impression on him.
Oh, go ahead real quick. Go ahead, Cos. Go ahead.
When Yarrow died in 1823, the papers published an obituary, which Peele is thought to have written. Died Yarrow, according to his account, 136 years. It is known to all who knew him that he was industrious, honest, and moral. He was interred in the corner of his garden, the spot where he usually resorted to pray.
When Yarrow dies, there are multiple obituaries of this.
I counted so far 38 up and down the East Coast.
Wow. Of a man who was brought here as a slave.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Why was so much written about him, and why were there so many obituaries?
Well, he was 140 years old.
So they say.
So that's newsworthy.
After Yarrow's death, we find his son, Aquila, living 45 miles northwest of Georgetown in Washington County, Maryland.
Aquila is an Indian name.
Goddamn right. That's the crazy shit about it. So this enslaved woman that he had a child by, was she full-blood American Indian from over here?
Well, what was her name? Because he got an Indian name. His son got an Indian name. What was her name?
Right.
Enslaved woman.
That's it.
That sounds like an Indian too to me.
At this time, yes, sir. At this time, 1700s, big fact.
Yeah.
Big fact. Go ahead.
Here, Aquila's wife worked as a midwife and was so popular, the community still bears the family name.
Shout out to Aquila the
There's
Bee.
no evidence the family continued to practice Mamadou Yarrow's faith.
After 1865, churches from the north really descended on the south, and there was this Christianization of people. I think that for Muslims were still living at the time, and their children and grandchildren, there was probably more of an effort to be integrated and be like everybody else.
I would see this period as a deep tragedy to enslaved Africans. Enslavers who were writing history thought these people are without intelligence, without a soul. The assumption is that when they came, their gods died, and then they embraced Christianity. They did not acknowledge, did not name those traditions and those practices. And so we've spent the last, say, 50 years trying to undo that kind of historical undertaking and to really figure out who exactly were these people, because they were there, but we never really studied them or their writings or their traditions.
The rediscovery of Yarrow's story led archaeologists to Dent Place to excavate the site of Yarrow's house, following the lead in his obituary that he was buried in his backyard.
His home wasn't on the site. There was an 1850s house that stood on the site that was destroyed by a hurricane. When we started the project in 2015, it was an empty lot with an extant in-ground pool.
Significant redevelopment had removed most traces from Yarrow's time. There was no sign of Yarrow and little evidence of his life. Still, the dig created a unique opportunity, a chance to give Yarrow the Muslim funeral rites, the janazah prayer he was unlikely to have received 200 years earlier.
In 2015, the Imam of Masjid Muhammad in Washington, D.C., he led the janazah prayer for Yarrow in that same spot of the yard. And Masjid Muhammad is historically predominantly black masjid, one of the oldest in Washington, D.C. So it's pretty profound that all these years later, that has some meaning even to the people there.
And you led the prayers?
Yes, I led the prayer, and that was an honor for me. We did the janazah on the land, on his residence. We know it doesn't serve the official, but as a ceremonial to him, it would probably reach his soul.
It was a beautiful event and a way to honor Yarrow and to shed light on Muslims, their history, and their history in America.
We inherit his hopes, we inherit his dreams, and that's the connection that we feel for him. And this is the beauty of really what it means to be an American, really to embrace the excellence of the life that was here and that is here, and that shows who we are.
On Dent Place, Today, a new house stands on the spot where Mamadou Yaro once lived, but his presence is commemorated with a plaque. It's a powerful reminder of Yaro and the tens of thousands of other Muslims who arrived in America in the nation's earliest days. A people whose history is still being written, whose stories are still coming to light.
It's hard to imagine now, but 160 years ago, Northern Virginia was the site of some of the most brutal battles of the Civil War. Among the Union soldiers who fought here in May of 1864 was a Muslim man, a recent immigrant from Afghanistan named Muhammad Khan.
Huh? From Afghanistan. Afghanistan is Persia.
I hope he brought some of them good seeds with him.
Word.
That Afghan Kush.
Word.
Why he would risk his life here and what happened next is described in his military records, recently discovered in the National Archives in Washington, D.C.
I've pulled tens of thousands of files over the years. This is probably the only, if not among a handful of descriptions of Islam in a Civil War document. That's what really struck me. And I was like, this is gold.
The Civil War was a turning point in American history. It preserved the Union and ended slavery. 3 million men fought. 750,000 died. In November of 1863, Abraham Lincoln came to Gettysburg and delivered his most famous speech. In 2 powerful minutes, he spelled out the meaning behind the sacrifices the war demanded.
Lincoln put it all together in the Gettysburg Address. It went down right to the core values of the founding of the nation, that all men are created equal.
The Civil War, it was supposed to have decided the fundamental question at the heart of what America was going to be. Guarantee life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all citizens of the United States.
Some people might think of the Civil War as a war brother against brother, North and South, but it also had a more global perspective. That had to do with humanity.
As a Muslim, I want to know, could it be that people bring about this new birth of freedom? That Muslims fought to end slavery too? That's where Private Muhammad Khan comes in. He's part of a story researchers are still piecing together. The details of Khan's eventful life are revealed bit by bit in his application for a pension, 200 pages long. Because of it, we know more about his service than most other soldiers who fought in the conflict.
So this is someone interviewing him to determine if he would receive his pension?
A series of interviews over many years, they couldn't understand his pronunciation of Muhammad Khan when he enlisted. So they wrote the best they could, and Amahi's the best they could come up with for Muhammad. And they would just pretty much named everyone John if they had no, like John Doe.
What can you tell us about his religion, his faith, his Muslim identity?
They don't typically express a soldier's faith in one of these records, but when he's getting testimony from different apothecaries and sort of pharmacists that he was buying medicine from, that one of them says he used to come into my store and I would read to him what he called the Mohammedan Bible, or what they call the Quran, but misspelled in the document, spelled with an H. There's the key right there. It's very clear what his faith was.
So this man had long black hair, and this witness, from his looks, manners, and general appearance, supposed him to be an American Indian.
I was born in Persia and raised in Afghanistan. I came to this country in 1861 with an American officer, a consul, but I don't remember his name. I couldn't speak one word of English at that time. About 2 or 2.5 months after my arrival, I enlisted at New Haven, Connecticut, having been persuaded to enlist while under the influence of liquor.
What a story.
Not unusual.
Were recruiters using alcohol to recruit people?
Yes, and drugs.
Wow.
I came across many stories, complaints by soldiers claiming that these recruiters, runners they called them, would treat them to drinks at the tavern, and that they were recruited and enlisted against their will. There was no question there was some of that went on.
Whatever led Khan to enlist, he wasn't the only immigrant to join the Union forces.
There are 2.2 million soldiers that serve in the Union Army over the 4 years, and about 1/4 of those were born in a foreign country.
Most of these men came from Europe, but migrants had begun arriving from parts of Asia too.
I remember coming across evidence of a soldier who died at Gettysburg. They called him John Tommy. He was a Chinese soldier. He died for his adopted country. So is it a surprise to find Muslims in this war? I was delighted.
This sounds like an invasion. They was all foreigners, right?
Many of them formerly enslaved people. Established in 1863, the colored troops and their supporters wanted to expand the Union's goals. They wanted to end slavery.
I am the full-time historical interpreter. My job here is to share the truth and not history about this lost story about 209,145 men that answer a government's cry for help.
The names of every single colored soldier etched into this wall?
Yes, all who have served, including the soldiers from the West Indies, South America, folks of Asian descent. So the rule was if you were non-white, they're going to put you in the Bureau of United States Colored Soldiers. The whole world was in this rebellion.
Given Muhammad Khan's appearance, you might expect to find his name on this memorial, but it's not here. Instead, I find the name of the best-known Black Muslim in the Union Army, an African immigrant named Nicholas Muhammad Ali bin Said.
Nicholas Said walked into the United States a free man before the Civil War started. He was from the Kingdom of Borno, that area that is now before the Civil War started. Nicholas Said walked into the United States a free man before the Civil War started. He walked into the United States a free man before the Civil War started. He was from the Kingdom of Borno, that area that is now northern Nigeria. He arrived in 1860, joined up with the 55th Regiment, and he said, because all my people seem to be doing so.
Saeed is an unusual recruit. Whoever's...
So, bro, these people wasn't coming over here as slaves.
No, sir.
They were signing up, coming over here on purpose to fight on side of the North.
Right. That sounds like an invasion to me. He said they was all foreigners.
And he said his whole people was doing it. It was just a thing to do at the time.
Right. That sounds like an invasion to me.
It gets worse, though.
Let's go.
Is in charge of the unit notices how well educated he is, and so he becomes a clerk rather than a frontline fighter.
And he's this really interesting figure because he's also literate, right? He writes his autobiography.
He writes about his whole life and also about the conditions of Reconstruction. Interestingly, he doesn't mention his military service, probably because... Because being in the South, he doesn't want to be associated with the Union Army.
Why is he in the South if he fought on the side of the North? He fought on the side of the North. Why is he in the South?
Good question.
Because he got to go reap his bounty. Remember, he signed in. For my time in my exertment. That's why he's in the South. He writes his memoirs years later during Reconstruction. Remember, they said he came here in 1860, before the war, a free man. So he writing better than a decade at the least later.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So we have to put it on the timeline, make it make sense for y'all.
Actually receives this rank as sergeant.
This is a remarkable man.
Muslim presence in the Civil War that he represents, I think is very important. This is not a foreign story. It's a part of the American story.
Alongside Nicholas Said, that story now includes Muhammad Khan, whose name is not on this wall for a simple reason. He was part of an all-white unit, the 43rd New York Infantry.
How was he able to join the 43rd in the first place, though, looking as he did?
He was recruited by his captain, and no one seemed to question it. He was getting full pay, full benefits, if there were any, of a white soldier at the time, so.
With Khan in their ranks, the New York 43rd marched south through Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia. Sometimes Khan was allowed to fight. Other times, he was given more menial duties.
It's possible that he was mistreated because of his color, but also expected to march in line and do duty like a white man.
In July of 1863, the 43rd reached Gettysburg, the best-known battle of the Civil War, and perhaps its turning point. We know Khan was nearby, while some of his comrades fought in close combat.
The 43rd New York and the 7th Maine was the two regiments who formed a line of battle down over the field, and they charged up over the hill. The Confederates were behind that very stone fence in that woods.
Wow, so close.
And they pushed the Confederates back.
43rd New York Infantry held this position from the morning of July 3rd until the close of battle.
The 43rd was a very, very hard fighting regiment, and they fought in just about every major battle of the Army of the Potomac. Here at Gettysburg, 5 casualties in the 43rd, 2 of them killed outright, 11 wounded, 4 mortally, and 1 captured.
So you can't get into his head, but you have seen so many documents. Why do you think Muhammad Khan would fight in the war?
He knew how to be a soldier. He said he knew how to load and fire a musket and quickly was in the ranks marching and doing his duty.
He may have felt tricked into enlisting, but he stayed and he fought. That was a common path to citizenship and to national identity.
This is someone who could have been obscure, could have just come here and maybe lived some years, gone back maybe. This is a man who agreed to be right in the thick of the fight. Once he got in it, I think he understood the stakes, and he went for it.
Could have run away or really escaped at any time. He did stick around for some reason, and it may have been because he felt morally and ethically obligated to see it through.
As a Muslim, Khan may have been inspired by traditional Islamic teachings about slavery. These urged Muslims to treat enslaved people with dignity and work for their freedom. At the National Archives in College Park, Maryland, there's evidence that Muslim attempts to end slavery in the U.S. extended well beyond our shores. Logs from the American consulate in Tunis, North Africa, date back to 1864. They contain the translation of a letter from a prominent Tunisian official, Major General Hussein. Tunis, an autonomous province of the Ottoman Empire, had abolished slavery some 20 years earlier, citing the moral principles of Islam. In this letter, Major General Hussein urged Americans to end slavery too.
O inhabitants of America, since God has permitted you to enjoy full personal liberty and to manage your civil and political affairs yourselves, while many other people are deprived of such distinguished privileges and blessings, it would not tarnish the luster of your crown to grant to your slaves, as an act of gratitude for the favors God has bestowed on you, such civil rights as are not denied to the humblest and meanest of your citizens. Humanity invites you to eradicate from your Constitution all that can give countenance to the principle of slavery. Strong words.
Very powerful words.
We look at the letter from Hussein Pasha. He doesn't mention white and black. He mentions the human being. He references the Quran and the experiences of Muslims with slavery.
He was upholding these ideas of liberty and emancipation that I think most of us think are kind of the intellectual property of the West.
When the American consul in Tunis received General Hussein's letter, he sent it to the Secretary of State in Washington, D.C. He also sent a copy to a leading advocate for abolition, Senator Charles Sumner.
He's helping give ammunition to Sumner in his fight for abolition in the United States.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's reflected in when he says, you will have strong support to the principles which you have for years set forth and defended. This is clearly something that he believes Sumner can use to his advantage in arguing against slavery.
Sumner was grateful to Major General Hussein, according to the American consul's papers. That's not surprising. Here in the U.S. Capitol, Sumner was known for referring to Islam in his arguments for abolition, especially in his famous Barbarism of Slavery speech from 1860. In it, Sumner criticized Southern slaveholders, contrasting their treatment of enslaved people with traditional Islamic approaches.
He was quoting the Quran to the level that this was actually reported in the New York Times. The speech was published in full.
As diplomats and politicians waged their war of words, the conflict continued on the battlefield. For Muhammad Khan, this meant more fighting, and not just against Confederate forces. A few days after Gettysburg, Khan found himself in nearby Hagerstown, where, based on his appearance, a group of Union soldiers mistook him for a runaway slave.
Just as I was going up the hill towards the railroad depot, I was arrested by a guard and taken to the provost marshal's headquarters, where there were a large number of colored men. This guard arrested all black men they met. I said that I was a regularly enlisted soldier of the 43rd New York and asked to be sent to my regiment. This I explained to them as well as I could in my broken English, but they wouldn't believe me.
They said he was a contraband slave, meaning that he was an escaped slave, that he was not eligible for service and that he was lying, so they arrested him.
Khan was sent to a contraband camp in Philadelphia, one of many such camps set up to house formerly enslaved people fleeing the South. But this couldn't keep him from the front line.
He spends months there in Philadelphia trying to find his company, right? Looking for his fellow soldiers.
At the time, news came about the fighting in the wilderness. I was around the railroad depot. As I was very anxious to join my company, I jumped aboard a train just as it started and went with it without asking permission of anyone to get aboard. I landed in Washington.
He gets off the train and he kind of walks with other squadrons from D.C. to Virginia. And finally, he finds his company.
His company was engaged in brutal fighting, waged across Virginia's Spotsylvania County. Khan would not survive unscathed here for long.
One U.S. Army regular soldier describes this as a battle of invisibles with invisibles. Snarled, ugly, scrubby, bushy mess. Black powder smoke could completely obscure a battlefield even when it's entirely in the open. Fighting in dense forage like this makes it almost impossible to see at all. Not only do you not know where the enemy is half the time, a lot of times you don't know where you are.
So it sounds like heavy casualties.
Heavy casualties.
I had picked up a rifle, and I went straight to my company and fell into line. 10 or 15 minutes after this, my regiment made a charge. Almost immediately, I was shot, wounded in the left hand.
Given everything you said, it's really not surprising that Muhammad Khan would have been injured here.
No, it's not surprising he was injured here at all. And it's borderline miraculous that he wasn't killed.
Still, Khan's wound was so severe that he spent several months recuperating at a military hospital. But in early 1865, Muhammad Khan rejoined his regiment again. He fought alongside his comrades as a sharpshooter until the end of the war. That came in April of 1865, and with it, rapid change, despite Lincoln's assassination.
I think that Reconstruction was actually a huge achievement. I mean, first of all, it was total. It was immediate. And it very quickly passed 3 major constitutional amendments.
13th Amendment abolishes slavery. The 14th guarantees equal protection under law for all, and the 15th guarantees voting rights for men, regardless of national origin. The writing of the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendments really intended to solve the problems at the heart of America. It didn't turn out that way.
For Muhammad Khan, the war was over, but a new challenge had begun: to rebuild his life as a civilian. By this time, his wife had arrived from South Asia, and Khan tried to make a living as a peddler, selling beads, baskets, and herbal medicine. All the while, he struggled with the wounds he received in the war, and fought for his rights as a veteran, too.
Is it typical to struggle to get your pension?
Yes. So they required either direct evidence, documentation that you had served and were wounded and deserved a pension, or were sick and deserved a pension, or you needed a lot of testimony. He could produce neither. He went through a lot of hassle getting this one. So he talked to the pension office, talked to congressmen. He lived in the District of Columbia, so he was in the halls of Congress, knocking on doors, asking for favors, getting assistance. He was what they would consider a great pest, in the sense that he was there all the time. Everyone knew him. They did all kinds of favors trying to get records for him. They contacted the Secretary of War eventually. And they loaned him money. A lot of black soldiers from the Civil War did work in the pension office. And that's who he actually borrowed money from when he would come to these offices. They really felt for him. You know, they knew his struggle was genuine.
Do you think his race factored into his struggle to get his pension?
Absolutely. He received a lot more pushback and had to enlist the help of all these powerful people to assist him.
Khan fought for over 20 years to receive the pension he was due. But the laborious process generated the paperwork that allows us to reconstruct his story. The pages became his history. When he died in 1891, Khan was buried in Cypress Hills National Cemetery, Brooklyn, under the name the Army gave him, not his own. Here he lies among 4,000 other Civil War veterans, white soldiers, and members of the U.S. colored troops.
I'm getting goosebumps knowing that we're close. 5009. There it is. John and Mahai. New York. We found it. We'll never be completely sure what Muhammad Khan was fighting for. What we do know is that somehow he made the war that ended slavery his own war. A war that advanced the cause of freedom then and continues to shape the nation we're becoming now.
It's never been easier to start a podcast than with Riverside. Here's how it works. First, go to riverside.fm and open an account, and then you'll be able to capture high-quality video and audio from practically anywhere in the world. When it comes to editing, Riverside is perfect for beginners. Even if you have zero experience, you can use their AI tools and intuitive editing features to create a professional-looking result. You can get transcriptions automatically and use them to edit like a doc, or you can use the chapter timeline feature, which makes it way easier just to skim and scan. Ready to share? Well, it's okay if you don't have an audience yet. Everybody starts somewhere, and Riverside has perfect tools.
It's hard to imagine now, but
You know, they knew his struggle was genuine.
do you think his race factored into his struggle to get his pension?
Yo. Shit.
Yes, sir.
We got a part in there, man. They end up after the war they changed him from an Afghani to an American Indian.
He was probably that from the beginning.
Could have been. Yeah, I mean, ain't no telling.
Yeah, I guess we gotta figure out, who writing this story and what angle they coming from, because it sounds like, they done put a whole lot of other people's speculations on this story.
I'm not sure, bro. But all I know is about that time for the Kung Fu Kid, man. I got to get to moving in a minute anyway, man. So I'm gonna holler at y'all. Hey, man, love, life, balance, man. Peace to the Aboriginals, man. Peace to all them big Indians out there. Y'all boys stay low. Keep firing, man. Hey, y'all breathe in, let that light in. I'm Cosmine, y'all. I'm out.
For sure, Chief Cosmine. Stay up, my bro. We'll be in touch.
You already know.
100. You done passed out over there, OTK? Y'all live in the chat? I'm along them lines of they was coming back home. Yeah, OTK must be lights out over there. It's about my time to check out too. I got some appointments to get to today. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings to y'all. I guess OTK has shut this down when he checked back in. Y'all be good. Stay up out there.